All right, this is a bit unorthodox, guys. I apologize, but I forgot to set up my webcam before I started, so I'm going to do that now. So you're going to get a flash of pride real quick, probably. Yep, there it is. Okay, give me just a second. I'm going to fix this. Good evening, boys, girls. Sorry, I'm adjusting my mic gain. Boys, girls, and MPs of all shapes, sizes, colors, and orientations. Welcome to the one, the only Alec Gunther stream. It is so good to be here. I apologize for the technical difficulties. There might be a few more. We're not sure yet, but let me look. Okay, so the lighting is not great. Probably because of what's behind me. So let me turn up the lighting in front of me. And also you can see the top of my monitor, which I don't want either. Works. Good. And then I changed one setting. You're not going to get any blur. Is there a little bit of a lag to you guys? You know what it is? Oh, you know what I think it is? I think it's trying to... No, it can't be trying to read it through the USB because I'm not plugged into USB. It's fine. This video is unavailable. Fuck. I keep forgetting to do this. Sorry. Everybody on the site... Here, hold on. God damn it. I gotta do this every time, and it's kind of annoying. I gotta get used to it. Okay. We should be good. We should be good. Sorry about that. Okay, let me fix the lighting, and then we gotta pull somebody in for a debate. I do not have very much time to address you guys, and I apologize for that. I got shit done early today, but apparently not early enough. Not bad, though. Usually it's worse. Usually I'm way worse off, so I'll take it. That's a little better. I think that's fine. I do want to... Okay. Good. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Now we're cooking. What's your necklace? This is the Sunny. The Thousand Sunny from One Piece. Spins. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Or if you've watched Film Red, he literally gets animated and then becomes a cute little cat guy. Almost a cat boy. Not cat boy, not like that. Just a little cat animal thing that's bipedal. It's like Chopper, but with a Sunny's head. Also, Film Red was garbage. I feel like I need to talk about that at some point. Film Red was absolute dog shit. I love One Piece and I love everything One Piece, but Film Red was a travesty. It was visually impressive, and that's about it. Narratively, it sucked ass, and I'm very disappointed. Maybe it's just because I've come to expect too much from One Piece in general. I know that anime movies in general are not supposed to be that good. Nonetheless, I'm disappointed. What is it? My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. Okay. Get rid of Discord and notifications. I need to turn off... Actually... I need to figure out what's going on with my Streamlabs notifications. I haven't used Streamlabs in forever, so I had to get that all set up again. AGP debate, yeah. I watched, so, you know, you want to know something funny? I'm going to pause the music because it's distracting me. But I watched the, the ContraPoints video. That's what it is. The ContraPoints video about, Autogynophilia to prepare, and that's about it. I didn't do much else. The thing is, like, we're gonna talk about Autogynophilia, but like, I'm going to probably take the angle that I don't give a shit. Like, even if everything, like, at some point, I am going to say, like, even if everything you're saying about Autogynophilia is true, you still have to, like, prove that somebody is behaving sexually in public before you do anything to them. You set it up through the back end? Yeah, so I do. I have to, like, every time that I or if you're asking about like my channel link, yes, I have to put in my I have to go in and like change it so that I'm set to live every single time I go live. If it's on host or it's on offline, it won't show anything. Which is useful, but it also gets a little tedious. There's a lot of tedium behind streaming. People don't understand. My life's hard. Okay, tipping, that's fine. Alert box. Test. Nope, it didn't do anything. You know, it's fine. If I have to mute it, I'll mute it. I'm done working on back-end stuff. Did enough of that last night. Okay. I think I look pretty solid. I changed the settings around so that the things in the background aren't blurry anymore. I just think that it looks better. Otherwise, like, I get blurry, and I don't like that. Haven't heard anyone Steelman AGP. I mean, I can like the Steelman for it is you're worried about people like doing things sexually in public. Like that's the Steelman. To be as absolutely charitable as possible. That's what you would say. And so I'm not going to start off reaming this guy or nothing. I don't even know how this is going to go. You know, I don't know this person. I don't know anything about them except I reached out on Twitter to after making yet another banger post. I put a comment under that for people to reach out to me to debate, and I got 2 people taking me up on it. So here we go. Okay, let me finish doing what I'm doing here because I feel very disorganized, but once we get started, I won't. Debates are stupid, but I love stupid stuff. Oh, it's a guy. I actually don't know if it's a guy or not. I just default to that because I'm a misogynist. Okay. The name's Ali, A-L-I, so that in the Discord, so that could be either. I'm not sure. See if they're ready. Okay, they say they are ready. All right, we're going to pull them in. Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Ah, yes, very well. Hold on one second.
I don't see you on the stream. You're just looking off into the distance. I don't.
Looking off
Yes.
into the distance.
Oh, because it's delayed by a few seconds to the YouTube stream. Okay.
I don't know if I can share my video with you simply because I have a new camera. But yeah, sorry, you're just not like unless you have the stream open, it's just gonna be delayed. That's usually how it works.
So let me get away from the computer because it's kind of messing up.
Okay, no worries. Take
Can
your
you hear
time.
me now?
No, I hear you fine. It was too loud before. I turned you down.
Oh, okay.
No, it's nothing on your end. It's completely on me. But yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. And how about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Got some stuff done. Went and worked out. Good stuff. A little bit late to the stream, but better than I sometimes do. So not going to complain. But let's cut right to it. So we basically got talking on, I want to say Twitter, after another one of my genius viral posts went viral. And I basically put a comment underneath of that saying, because I'm trying to stay off of Twitter. So what I did was I put a comment underneath of that saying, if you want to debate me, here's how to reach out to me. We can do it on my live stream because I like making content out of it. So here we are. And you wanted to talk about autogynophilia. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And then is there...
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
No, please continue. Go ahead.
So before we get in this discussion, so I can have some background knowledge about, what position or what perspective you're speaking from, how would you, describe yourself politically? I know, you're the host of the show, but
Of
and you're
course. No,
the
that's
one
fair.
asking me the questions.
No, that's fair. I should have started off with that. So I consider myself a progressive. You can call me a leftist, you can call me a liberal. I don't really care, but progressive would be the most proper term, I think. It's just
Okay.
the most encompassing. I like my policy is whatever makes more people's lives better and fewer people's lives worse. So when I look at
Okay.
transgender issues, I used to be transphobic, right? I used to not like trans people because I would go on porn websites and I would look at the women's section and there would inevitably be trans women there, and I'd be like, I don't like that, and then that's where my transphobia kind of came from. And so later on, I realized, wow, that's really fucking stupid. And I decided it doesn't matter what my porn preferences are. People can identify the way. I basically had a better understanding of gender and sex and how transgender people operate day to day, which is just like the rest of us. They're just normal. They just want to live their lives. It just happens that their gender identity does not align with the sex that they were assigned at birth or the genitalia they were born with. Because we have gender, without getting too far into the weeds. We have gender and then we have sex. And gender is socially prescribed and sex is medically prescribed. So there's a difference between like transgender versus transsexual. There's a difference between if you say you're a man versus male, things like that. So I just believe that however people want to identify, as in terms of gender, like I don't really care that much. It doesn't make a difference to me. It's not my life and it's not my body.
Okay, I see where you're. I used to be a liberal myself.
Okay.
My birth name is Oliver. I converted to Islam. My new name is Ali.
Okay.
And my fundamental problem with transsexuality is that it's abnormal. When you see a woman or a man dressed up as a woman walking down the street, or a woman dressed up as a man walking down the street, you see mental illness. You see
What about it is mental illness?
it's mental illness because it's not normal.
What's normal?
Because normal is what God has prescribed for the
Which is
human
what?
race, which is that there are two genders, male and female.
Why should I care
And
what God has to say on the subject?
because history shows that societies that respect God are successful. If you look at Saudi Arabia, they're the richest country
Saudi
in the whole
Arabia,
Middle East.
I'm pretty sure that like they'll lynch you for being gay in the street. I don't consider that a very good country to live in. I
They're,
like
the,
having sexual
they're
freedom.
they're one of the richest countries in the
I
world
don't
with one of the
care.
lowest crime rates.
Do you think that like their average citizen sees that wealth?
Yes, I've spoken to many Saudis at my
I'm
masjid.
sure you
Of
have,
course,
but
there are
if you
problems.
were to pull up the statistics right now, how many Saudis do you think have like above $100,000 income? You think it's
Probably
most
not
of
very
them?
many.
Exactly, not very many. So, like I said, most of the people there don't even see that wealth. So this is a null argument already.
Well, the thing is, I'm a Maoist myself.
Okay.
I believe in Islam, but also politically, I see that, you're right. There is a problem of the hoarding of wealth, which, if you look at Saudi Arabia, it's a massive advancement over what we have in the West. It's not perfect.
Okay,
You're right.
but
There's
again,
massive
to
wealth.
get to stay on point though, your argument was look at Saudi Arabia, they don't like the transes and they're doing great economically because look at their GDP. Where to which I
Right.
responded, the average person doesn't see that. So do you value people like, their version of whatever Elon Musk is or Jeff Bezos? Do you value them having that much money over the people they're having sexual and freedom of presentation?
Well, I'm sorry. Can you please restate that?
So what I said was, you said that look at Saudi Arabia and how well they're doing financially, correct? Economically.
Yes,
Yes.
they're doing very good
Yes. And
economically. They're
what?
also doing very good culturally.
Sure, but
They're
let's
doing
stay on economic because that was your argument. So
okay.
my
Yes.
counter argument to that was most people there don't see that. It's just a select few. And then
Okay, that
you
is
have
true.
to so now you have to explain why you value like just money in general being there and anybody
Okay,
having
I
it
get
or
what you're
like
saying now.
yeah,
I get what you're
exactly.
saying now. Well, I mean, look at the U.S. We live in a highly liberal society
Okay.
where, it, in some states you can cut your kid's penis off at 16,
That's not
but
true.
we also have a lot of
That's
wealth
not
in it,
true,
or
by the way.
18,
You just said
whatever
a
the age.
lie.
We're
That was a
very
lie that you just
We live
said.
in a
You
very
just
liberal
lied.
society. Whatever 18 or 21,
Just so
whatever
it's
the
on the
age is.
record that do you have any evidence of like parents being allowed to chop their kids' penises off at 16? Can you show me any cases?
Yes, there was a
Okay.
documentary about it, trying to
Okay, who was
glorify
it?
it. I'd have to do regardless.
Trying
This
to
is besides the
glorify it?
point.
Which what okay, what's the point
It
then?
was
Get to
called
your
like
point.
trans at 11. The bottom line is that hello.
I'm there.
Oh, okay. I heard like another voice in the background. Um,
Might be my fiance.
oh, okay. Well, the bottom line is that there's a high level of wealth equality here in the U.S., and we're also a much more liberal society than Saudi Arabia.
There's a higher what? Sorry. Higher wealth inequality?
There's higher or equal wealth inequality here in the U.S.,
That's
and
correlation
we can
without
both
causation.
agree.
First of
We
all,
can
and
both
second of all, I
agree.
don't even know if that's true, but that's correlation without causation.
Well, we can both agree that both of the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. Keep in mind, Saudi Arabia is not even the only country with Sharia. There's countries like Afghanistan, which are building economic relations with the People's Socialist Republic of China, that are doing very well. Malaysia is doing very well.
You said
Many
China's doing
countries.
well. Have you seen the living conditions for like the average Chinese person?
Oh yes, I had a Chinese tutor. She lived in a very nice apartment. It's not great,
Okay, that's your
but
Chinese tutor. But like, well, when you say not great, do you mean like my point is the average Chinese person is not living in like extravagant wealth. At best, they're like below average compared to an American.
right.
That's
But they
my
also
understanding.
started
I
from a much
would have to
weaker
research
point.
more of that. But again, like I don't see what that has to do with people's sexual freedom. I don't understand like the comparison here or like their freedom of expression.
Well, the bottom line is that if you're a man who wants to take hormones and pump silicone into your chest and
You
may
mean
or
like
may
women
not get
do?
your penis turned
You mean
inside,
like
well,
cis
yes,
women
that's
do?
wrong too. That's wrong
What?
too. I will
Okay,
agree that
I
a woman
disagree.
altering herself, altering her body in
Okay,
any
but just
form.
to be clear, then you're against both men and women doing that, yes?
Yes,
Okay,
because
so then
Allah
that's not
subhanahu
an
wa
argument
ta'ala
against. So
gave
that's a
us.
different argument then. That's not an argument against trans people. That's just an argument against silicone injections, which is a completely off-topic
Yes.
argument. So,
Well, I'm against all forms of body modification,
like
and
glasses, I wear
transgenderism
glasses.
is a
Should I get
form.
rid of them?
Well, that's not a modification of the
Why not?
inside of your body.
The inside of my body. Okay, how about a knee replacement?
A knee replacement.
Yeah,
Well, that's meant. I guess I should clarify. I'm against any kind of. As a Muslim, we are supposed to be against any kind of unnecessary, non
a knee replacement
medically
is not
necessary.
necessary. You can live without a knee replacement.
But it physically, your knee is something that you physically need
Get a
to get
wheelchair.
around.
Get a wheelchair. No body modifications. That sounds like pussy shit to me. Why would you say that it's fine for people to get knee replacements? You just told me that you are fundamentally against people doing things inside of their body that are not medically necessary. I don't consider a
Well,
knee
sure.
replacement medically necessary
Well, the
for the
scholars of
purposes of
Sharia
this
would disagree with
conversation.
you.
Huh? Who disagrees
The
with me?
scholars of the scholars of Sharia, who after the revolution would run the United States, would disagree with you.
Okay, I don't care what they say.
You don't have to care what they say. I'm telling you my perspective that we should
Okay,
have
I'm not asking about the
society
scholar's
ran by.
perspective. I'm asking about yours. So,
Yes,
your
my
perspective,
perspective is that we should have a society ran by a communist party of Islamic scholars.
why?
Why?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Because
fine
if you
with
look
like,
at
communism as a concept, but why specifically like Muslim communists?
because Islam is the correct religion. If you look at Christianity, it's allowed itself to be hijacked by the Jews and by Zionism.
What do you mean the
You
correct
know,
religion?
it is the religion that is factually correct. But
Factually
regardless, let's keep
correct.
it. Let's keep it from an atheistic perspective. Let's just
Okay.
say it
I'd
doesn't
love to
matter if
pick your
Islam is
brain
true or
about
not.
that, but it's off topic. So, all right,
Um,
factually correct. So, but you're going to stick with the atheist perspective for my sake, yes?
okay, let's keep for
Okay.
so we don't
Okay.
devolve
Thank
into
you.
an argument about faith.
Sure.
Um, the if you look at Christian society, the United States is a slave of Israel. Europe is a slave of Israel.
I mean, I
We
wouldn't say slave,
Christian
but we'd certainly enable them, yes.
so Christianity itself is so weak, it's allowed itself to get supplanted by Jews and Judaism.
I see. How does this work?
Well, if you just look at look at how much U.S. dollars are given to aid in Israel. Look at how many Christians have been brainwashed into thinking that by believing in Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, they have to support the terroristic, genocidal state of Israel.
Well, they might believe that, but that's not necessarily true. I have Christian friends who don't believe that, and they're still
Right.
Christian, yes?
There are Christians who don't believe that.
So then
But
that's
the
not
point
fundamental to
is
being
that
Christian.
Christianity, as an ideology, is not strong enough to resist Jewish manipulation.
And Islam is.
Islam cannot is it's much harder to manipulate Islam.
What are the Jews doing that
By
you don't like? What are the Jews doing?
Well, they have the state of Israel, which is killing Muslims, which is horrible. They are
I agree, but that's not
they
a
push
Christian thing. That's an
feminism
Israel
on.
thing.
I'm sorry, say that again.
That's an Israel thing. Israel's a nation state. They're not
Yes.
a religious institution. They're a country.
But like okay, so I'm ethnically part Jewish. I've been to synagogues. They integrate the state of Israel into their religious beliefs. In their prayer before the service ends, they say we commemorate everyone who died in the Shoah, Hebrew for Holocaust, and
Okay.
died in the support of the state of Israel. When you go to the Jewish version of Sunday school, you pitch in $1 that they give to the state of Israel. They pass around a little blue box. That's the lie that they push. That Judaism has nothing to do with Zionism. There are some Jews, some Hasidic Jews that that reject Zionism, but the vast majority of Jews, over 90%, support the state of Israel.
I don't even think it's true that the vast majority of Jews support the state of Israel. But also, this was supposed to be an indictment on Christianity. Are you saying that like this Jewish cabal that you speak of is like enticing and luring the feeble-minded Christian into a lulled state of security so that like they can inject their like what are you getting at here? What are the Jews
No, that's
doing that you
exactly what
don't
I'm getting
like?
at. You pretty much hit the nail on the head
So what
right
a
there with
specific
that.
so you said feminism. What about feminism? Are the Jews are pushing feminism onto Christians, right? This is your
They push
words.
abortion. They push
They
Planned
push abortion.
Parenthood.
So what's wrong with all this stuff? What is it?
Well, if you
I
look at
like abortion.
abortion, people like to talk about the Holocaust. 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust. But they don't
Okay.
talk about our Holocaust, which is called Planned Parenthood.
Well, how's
Millions
that a
of babies
Holocaust?
have been killed in the womb. The most dangerous place for a black, I'm not even black, by the way.
I
The
don't
most
care.
dangerous place in America for a black baby is his mother's womb. That's where his life is most likely to end.
Why should I care? He's not a baby yet. He's a fetus.
I mean, why
I
should
don't
I?
even consider
Why
his life
can't?
have
Why
to be
shouldn't
up
I
to have
just go
begun
around? Why shouldn't I just go around killing elderly people in nursing homes?
because that's murder, and I don't like that. That's taking away
Well,
people's freedoms. I don't consider a fetus a person. I've had this argument many times. I didn't think we'd go here, but like you'd have to convince me that a fetus is a person before I give it any credence or
well,
any
I
like
used to think the way you thought.
consideration for rights.
You're right. I mean, you're not right, but I'm listening to you.
Okay.
I used to think the way you thought. I used to be a liberal. I used to be okay with Planned
And
Parenthood.
I used to be conservative,
But
but go on.
but
It's a funny
when
little
my own religion, Islam, simply says that life begins at conception. It's unlike Christians. I can understand why you can argue because nowhere in the Bible does it say life begins at conception. But there are actually hadiths in hadiths are narrations about the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hadiths specifically about this subject that life does begin at conception.
okay.
And for me, as an Islamic fundamentalist, that should be the standard.
Okay, I don't care.
So, so tell me a little bit. What made you move from thinking from thinking that abortion was wrong to moving to thinking abortion was not wrong?
Well, in all honesty, I had to help my ex get one. So, that was kind of the catalyst. Although she already was like opposed to me on the abortion thing because I was fervently pro-life back then. And so,
Okay.
I accidentally got her pregnant because we didn't use very good protection. And then I helped pay for her abortion. So that was kind of the point where I went through a very tumultuous mental struggle after that over the course of like more than a year. And finally, I came out on the other side, and I told myself, and I know that this sounds like I'm justifying it to myself, and perhaps that's true, but I don't really care. Like to me, it's a matter of personal freedom over your own body, and also the fact that a fetus does not deserve the same rights as the rest of us, or more rights, really, is what you're
Okay.
saying. Because I cannot attach myself to a woman's uterus and then for 9 months and feed off of her. I'm not allowed to do that. A fetus is though, and you want to protect their right to do that. Why?
Because if you allow abortion, if you allow feminism, if you allow these deviant ideas into a society, you end up with a lower birth rate. You know,
Okay, I
Israel has a
don't.
birth
Why do
rate
I
of
wait? Why do I
2.1 births per
care?
woman.
Why do I care?
You care because if you become a country like South Korea, which has a birth rate of something ridiculously low, like 0.7 births per women, you will go extinct after enough generations. There will be no more.
I'm
Gen-
alive. What do you mean you will go extinct? Do you mean like the human
you,
race?
your nation, your tribe, whatever ethnic group you descend from, if it does not have
I don't care about
at
the
least
ethnic group I descend
2.1,
from. I'm part German and part Irish, and I'm all American, and I live in America, and I live for my fiance, and I'm gonna have kids at some point in the future, and that's what I live for. I don't live for my nation.
if you don't have a birth rate of 2.1 births per capita, what you live in will go extinct after 100 years.
Why?
Just mathematically, because if you aren't replacing your population, if you're not having 2.1 births per capita, two to replace the parents plus the occasional third child to keep it going,
What if I
because
hold a
people
woman
die.
down and forcibly impregnate her? Is that good?
um Generally, no.
Why not? Wait, generally, wait, is there ever a situation where that's good?
um and I'm not an expert on Sharia. In
No,
certain
answer that question. I want an
situations,
answer to that question. Is there
no,
ever a
I'm answering it.
situation? Okay,
In times of war, you are allowed to take concubines, and
and rape
but
them and rape
you're
them.
supposed to treat them well.
Oh, while you're raping them, right? But you're still raping them.
It's a very complicated issue, but
No, it's not.
generally,
You're
in
raping
times of
them.
war,
When
in
you
times of war, you
impregnate a
might be
woman
allowed to
against her will,
remarry.
that is raping.
It might, yes, it is rape. In
Okay, it's rape.
certain times of war,
Your statement is your stance is that rape is okay. Yes, in times of war.
99.9% of the time,
But
no.
in the
There are
but point zero, but
situations.
there are situations where it's okay. Okay, so that's disgusting, and you're a fucking pervert. But go on. No,
Well,
please go on. I'd love to hear more about what you think about the world and your
well,
opinions on things.
well, because if you go into a war and you kill all the men, someone's gonna have to take care of the women.
Okay,
Someone has to do something with
by
them.
raping them, of
So you
course, is what
enslave
you
them.
mean.
You enslave them.
You're right. You
Well, they
rape
might
them.
fall in love with you. It might not necessarily be rape.
What? I asked you, is it okay to hold a woman down and forcibly impregnate her? To which you replied 99.99% of the time, no, but 0.01% of the time, yes, that's fine. And that's disgusting. I think that you are opening the door. Honestly, I think you're the degenerate here. I think that you're the one destroying Western society because you're the one trying to open the door for people to have unconsensual relationships with women, possibly even underage women, because, you know, it's just the population, right? We have to do it for the glory of our, you know, our empire. I know I don't want to fuck the 14-year-old and impregnate her, but hey, you know, whatever I need to do to keep the American bloodline pure, right? Like, this is
Well,
disgusting. This is freak
this
shit.
would never apply. This would
What do you
never
mean this would
apply in a
never
Christian
apply?
country like the U.S. because the Sharia says for a concubinage to be allowed, they have to be polytheists. And the U.S. is a Christian country. Christians are classified as people of the book, not as polytheists.
So what? We created like a subclass of women who are allowed to be raped. Is that it?
No, because after the war is over, you free the slaves.
You're not making any sense. So
You
during war you can rape them, but after the war you have to free them.
Yes.
That's disgusting. I still think that's disgusting. You can just say you're at war still. First of all, and second of all, I don't think it's okay in any situation ever.
Well, you know, we just
Why
have a
should I?
difference of opinion on this matter.
Sure, but I think that my opinion is normal and yours is disgusting, and you're a pervert and a freak. So why should I listen to anything else you have to say on anything?
Well, because people who thought the way I thought built the world that you're living in right now.
I don't care.
The
They're
founding
dead.
fathers
They're
were
dead.
right-wing.
They're dead. And also,
The
you're
person who
wrong.
built the
You just
house.
no. You tell yourself that to justify to yourself that you are fine with rape. That's what you're doing.
I mean, I
Maybe
don't
some
sit
of them
around
were
thinking all
rapists, but
day
they
about
didn't.
rape.
Rape was not an essential part of them building the world that we live in. That was not an essential element of that.
What do you live in the northern United States, if you don't mind me asking, or the southern
I live
United
in
States?
Ohio.
Okay, so you don't live in. I live in the southern United States. You know, there's a lot of. I mean, I don't even know how we got sidetracked on the conversation of
I
rape.
don't
But going
either.
back to abortion, going back to the
But
conversation.
now that we've
of
established that
abortion,
there are situations where rape is okay in your mind, go ahead and let's get back to, well, we were originally talking about trans people, and I know that you think they're gross and yucky and whatever. I think that it's gross and yucky to allow for rape in any situation, but please continue about why autogynophiles are the real perverts here. I'd love to hear it.
autogynophiles are the real perverts
Okay.
because they live in a
Do they want?
manner
Do they think that? Do they think that? you're allowed to rape people during war? Like that's okay?
Very few, because they
Very
subscribe
few,
to
right?
atheism.
So the answer is no. They generally don't. Correct?
They generally don't.
Okay. So
They
then
generally don't.
why is convince me that an autogynophile is less perverted than you?
An autogynophile is less perverted than me for, or I mean the other way around. I'm less perverted than an autogynophile for two reasons. Because A, I
Sorry,
will
that's
have
what I meant.
children. An autogynophile has sterilized himself. He will not contribute to the world
He also won't
at
rape
all.
people.
No, I don't, because I'm not in a state of
No, no,
Islamic
no.
war.
I said the autogynophile won't. I'd rather somebody castrate themselves than rape somebody. Would you?
But I mean, I would rather. Honestly, I would rather. I mean, it's a very hard situation because both are
Oh,
horrible.
it's
But
difficult to decide whether it's okay to rape the person, right? I hear what you're saying. That's really
you
gross.
know, even out of something as evil in normal situations as rape, a child can be conceived and a new soul brought into this world is always an amazing thing. But a man who castrates himself,
No, it's not. No, it's not.
nothing
You
beautiful
know
out
when
of
it's
his
not
life
an
is
amazing
beautiful.
thing. Let me paint a picture for you. How about when a 13-year-old child gets raped by her uncle, all right? And then she is forced to carry that birth to term for 9 months, throwing up, bleeding, having morning sickness, pains, having to go to school and do homework on top of all that, giving up sports,
You
not
can
being able
take
to
her
hang
out
out
of
with her
school.
friends because she has to go to a fucking gyno appointment. It's awful. And then what do you get at the end of that? You got to
She
fucking
brought a
if
soul
she
into the
lives, by the
world.
way, if she lives and doesn't sustain long-term or serious injury, assuming that that is all true, what do you get at the end of that? You get a baby that she cannot take care of, did not ask for, and is likely going to not have a very good life. So
Well, sure,
what's
she can
what?
take
No,
care
no,
of
no.
the
What's
baby.
just tell me? Convince me that that's beautiful.
It's beautiful because a new soul, a baby boy or a baby girl, has
Right. So
been
you
brought into
think
the
that
world.
rape is
It's going to
beautiful? You
experience.
think that rape is beautiful? Yes.
No, 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 no.
No,
I'm saying a
no, of
beautiful
course not.
thing
Of
can
course
come out
not.
of
Of
a bad
course. It's
thing.
just okay
A
in some
beautiful thing can come out
circumstances.
of a bad thing.
And if you're raped, the product of that is beautiful. Yes? That's what you think about rape.
Yes, a human life being created in any circumstance is the most beautiful thing on this planet. Um,
Are you trolling?
no, I'm not trolling. I mean, a human life. Think
Okay.
about it. If your parents didn't have sex, if they didn't conceive you, you wouldn't be able to enjoy and experience all the things you've experienced in
I
your
wouldn't
life.
know the difference because I wouldn't exist. There's like a million
Exactly.
half babies in my balls right now that will not get to experience life.
That's why we should have as many kids as possible to bring as many of these half babies into existence as possible. Like me, I plan on having 15 kids. I'm going to get married in the
I
next
am
year or
scared for
so.
all of them, genuinely. I am terrified for all of them, and I think that you should have your hard drive checked. But go on.
Why should I get my hard drive checked?
Because you told me that rape is okay, dude. Why the fuck do you think you should have your hard drive checked, you dumbass?
I never look at, that's considered zina of the eyes. And, we're always being watched by two angels. The angel on the right
Oh,
side counts
uh-huh.
all of your good
Does
deeds,
the
and the
angel
angel
think
on
that
your
rape
left
is
side.
okay?
The angel is a slave of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the angel believes in Sharia. So
Hmm.
the angel understands that in times of war, polytheists might get taken as captives, and uh,
And raped. And they're fine with that.
it might happen. But
It
the
might, right,
Prophet
but
Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam treated his slaves very nicely, and he's the role
oh
model for
good.
all of humanity.
Well,
He
I'm
never
glad that he
once
treated
yelled
them
at his slave.
nicely. It's
He never once.
rough when you get treated poorly as a subhuman thing, right? That is subjugated at somebody else's leisure. That's
Well,
rough.
in Islam, slaves are not considered subhuman. Slaves
I
have
don't
rights.
I don't
You're not
care.
allowed
Oh,
to.
they have some rights. That's good.
Yes, because there's always. I mean, slavery exists here in the U.S. too.
I know that.
It's just deregulated. When you work at McDonald's, you're a wage slave. You know,
That's exactly like being raped. You're right, buddy.
no, I'm not
Anything
saying.
else?
I never made such a comparison. But going back to the central point that we're discussing
Of
here
course.
on whether or not transsexuality. They've done the studies that it is a sexual thing. They've done the studies, the phallometric studies, where they play audio files about about a woman getting dressed. Some of the transgender women, there's two groups: the ones that transitioned younger in life. Almost none of them experience any stimulation. The ones that transitioned older in life, like something like 70% of them got stimulation. So just the science is right there. There is a sexual component to this, and that's highly disturbing.
I see. Disturbing.
Um, because if you like look at where the West is heading, I mean, like my cousin, he decided to choose to live his life as gay, and he came with his boyfriend to come visit my grandma, and his boyfriend didn't even greet my grandmother. That's the level of rudeness and self-centeredness we're at a society at this point. Um, you know, if
You know
you
what he should have done? He should have raped her. That's what I think he should have
why
done. Yeah, well, because
why?
that's clearly something that you hold dear to your heart is that people should be allowed to rape people in certain circumstances.
Well, no, that would not.
So
My
I think that
grandmother
would have
is a
made him less of a
Muslim.
pervert in your mind, probably, if I had to guess.
Well, if he became a soldier and
Instead of
fought in a
being gay,
war against polytheists, if he became a soldier and fought in a war against polytheists and
and then
captured some
yeah, go ahead, go on.
slaves,
Hmm. And
then that would be
and captured slaves to do
far
what?
less bad.
Captured slaves to do what?
Whatever he
Far less
wants.
bad than doing what?
If they were polytheists, he's able to just marry them at his will. Um,
Right, against theirs.
Possibly. I mean, it depends on
Are they
if
people or
they're
not?
attracted to him or
Are they
not.
people or not?
I would consider that man to be far more moral than a man who sits around eating, shitting, and having anal sex all day.
Why?
I mean, it's an abomination for a man to stick his male organ up the defecation organ. I mean, that's why HIV exists. HIV is a gift from God to punish degenerates, in my view, because HIV, if you go around as a gay man just getting bummed in the butt by a whole bunch of men, eventually will contract HIV. And up until very recently, like 20 years ago, so really not that recently, but up until 20 years ago, that was a death sentence. That was God punishing you for
I think
your
you're
sinfulness.
I think you're the world's punishment, honestly. I think that people like you are a blight, and I'd rather have super AIDS than like ever have another
But people
conversation with
like
you, to
me
be honest.
built Malaysia.
People,
They built Saudi
what's a person
Arabia.
like you? What's a
They
person
built
like
Egypt.
you?
People who
Go
believe
ahead,
in Quran
explain
and Sunnah.
yourself. Sell
People,
yourself to me.
I'm a slave to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I follow his messenger, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and
Hmm.
I do my best to model my life after the way Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived and the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to live in the Quran.
Okay.
And this is what this is what has this is what brought you algebra. This is what brought you
Did you invent it?
oil. No, but Muslims
Okay,
did.
got
People
it.
who thought the way I think invented it.
Is algebra in the Quran?
No, but Islamic
Okay, got it.
scholars
So
who are
if they
very
didn't,
true to
so
their
they
faith.
clearly didn't consider that very important to their religious,
But
you know.
quasars are in the Quran. In Surah 88,
Okay.
it says, "Beware of the knocking star." And quasars,
Well, that
when
that is a thing that I use in my daily life is quasars. It's a good point.
well, it's just an evidence of the Quran's
Right, of
divine
course.
order. I
Right.
mean, the oil that was used to make the very glasses that you use to get around in life was most likely extracted from a Middle Eastern country
Oh,
where
cool.
the oil
So where can
workers were almost
where can I find that part in the Quran when they did that?
when they did what?
When they like extracted oil and sent it all over the world and caused an industrial revolution.
That is not mentioned in the Quran.
Right, because they don't consider it that important to their religious
Right, because it's
beliefs.
not. It's
So
but the
then
point
why
is
are you
that someone
bringing it
who
up?
thought the point is that someone who thought the way I thought brought you the things that you use to function in a society.
They did not think the way you think. They ascribed to the same religious affiliations that you do.
This is what all Muslims believe. This is orthodoxy. There's no such thing as a moderate Muslim.
You think
There
you
are
represent
Muslims.
all Muslims right now?
I mean, I'm just telling you what I've been taught by my imam, by the sheikh at the local masjid I go to, from reading Islamic sources. This is the standard view.
The standard view, okay?
This is the standard view. And any Muslim who tells you otherwise, so-called Muslim who tells you, actually, no, women don't have to wear the hijab. Actually, it's okay to be gay. They are not Muslim. They are apostates. And if they don't amend their ways of thinking, only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows, but it's very likely their destination would be hellfire.
Okay. So you'll go to hell for being gay or being an autogynophile or whatever, but concubines.
Well, not for being gay. You don't go to hell for being gay.
Oh, okay.
You go to hell for acting on sodomy.
For acting. So right. So as long as you remain closeted, you're fine.
Yes, because
right.
if someone's being tested by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that's a sign that Allah loves them. So if someone is gay, they're feeling gay desires, that's a sign that Allah Azza wa Jal is testing them, because they're tempting them to sin, to commit one of the Quran calls it the most vile sin known to man.
As opposed to rape, which is fine.
Well, rape is not fine under most circumstances. Under
Right, but
certain situations.
okay,
where
so
you're
how
fighting
many
a war,
circumstances is it okay to fuck another man for me?
it is never okay.
Right, so then you are
Never.
saying that rape is more fine than being gay, yes? Than gay sex.
Yes. Yes.
I think we're done, buddy.
Okay, have a nice day.
You as well. Later. Sorry, just banning and blocking that guy, because holy shit. Well, they didn't last quite as long as I thought it would, but we learned a lot, I think. Those are the, he's a representative of the people who believe in autogynophilia, if you can believe that. Yeah, he absolutely needs his hard drive checked. Holy shit. That was... I don't even know what to say about that, man. How can you so blatantly admit that? Like, I did not think he would bite that bullet. I really wish I had gotten a zinger at the end, but I feel like I was grilling him pretty good the whole way through. Another thing that I wish I had done is I wanted him to keep talking about like autogynophilia and why he thinks that like trans people are icky and stuff. Because once you admit that you are fine with rape in any circumstance, once you admit that part, it's over. Anything that you say is now toxic. Associating with you is toxic. There's no helping that. So I do kind of wish that I'd let him keep going, but he kept going off on these tangents about like Islam and about like, I don't know. I feel like we got all we needed to out of that. And also, he converted to Islam purely as an excuse to be anti-Semitic and homophobic and transphobic and just a disgusting piece of shit in general. I hope he never has kids. Well, he plans to have 15 of them, and if he has it his way, it'll be unconsensual. Who was this? Just some dude on Twitter. I do think it's good to have people like that, though, like on the show. Not in, I wish that he would not exist. But, if they are going to exist, and as far as they do, at least they're on the show showing people that, they're how horrible they are and what they believe. And then that helps to associate other horrible people with other horrible beliefs with them, like Nazis and transphobes and whatever else. I would say, honestly, I don't even think a Nazi would be fine with... I mean, I think they do inside, don't get me wrong. I think that Nazis literally are... Like, once you proclaim to be a Nazi, nothing else is off the table for you. I'm not saying that, like, Nazis don't internally believe that. What I do think is that Nazis would distance themselves from him, even though they ascribe themselves as Nazis. Because, again, part of the whole degeneracy thing is that you're supposed to be like a threat to women, right? You're supposed to be like a threat. But how are you going to convince me that anything is a bigger threat to a woman than you when you literally say that you are fine with raping and forcibly impregnating people? That is disgusting. Ugh. At first, I thought I was going too hard on the guy, but now I'm glad I went as hard as I did. Like, let me clarify. At first, before anything about that part came up, I thought that I was reaming him a little bit too hard. I thought maybe I should let him talk longer. Maybe I should let him expand on that a little bit. But no, I don't feel bad anymore. Yeah, I should have gone harder. Honestly, I think that like getting outraged, I think going for like an outrage bit would have just hurt my appearance. I think that he was very adept at destroying himself. So, since we have time, we could do a segment. Our next debate's not until 6. I can't ask the guy if he's ready now, though. Here, I'll do that real quick. I miss the unhinged debates. They're fun. They're very fun. I cannot believe that I researched for this. This is why I barely ever research for like debates or nothing. Because like you end up getting somebody like that. And I don't even have to say anything about autogynophilia. I don't have to say anything. I can literally just be like, yeah, sure. I'll see to you that it exists. Now what? You know what I mean? Like I can't lose. Check my recent Discord joins. I don't like streamer mode. There you are. Yeah, I think we need a palate cleanser after that, honestly. I can assure you I am not trolling. Oliver Morris, you're an abhorrent piece of shit. If that's you. No, wait, is that Oliver? No, Oliver Morris isn't the one. No, Oliver Morris isn't the one we just talked to, is it? I meant the guy we just talked to. Sorry, Oliver, if that's not you. Although it might be. If it is you, fuck you. Sounds good, Bonkus. All you really missed is an unhinged pervert. There. We'll enjoy that for a while. I don't usually pull it out, but that was a pretty abhorrent one. Is pervert being a bit generous? I would say so. I would say so. Due to TOS, I can't say how I really feel. It's a live stream, so they're not going to do anything exciting, probably. I admire your necklace, thank you. Is Oliver Morris the guy? I kind of want to know now. Because if that is the guy, few more words for him. Doesn't matter. Okay, you guys enjoy the kitties for a bit. I'm gonna make myself a protein shake. I haven't done that yet. I had kind of planned these debates to be back to back, so we're gonna have a little bit of a lull period here. The next debate starts at 6 if that's all you're here for. But I'll be right back. Oh, and that's 6 Eastern time. Sorry, it was getting cold. One sec. Okay. It is better as somniostatic, I agree. It's a shame that he feels that way. And Oliver Morris, I'm going to assume that you're the person. He said his name was Oliver. Oh, that is you. Okay. Hey, Oliver Morris, if you're still here, I just want you to know that you're a disgrace to Allah, and making you was a mistake by him, which proves that he is not all-knowing and all-powerful, and not all good. Or at least not one of the three, because you exist. You're a disgusting, perverted freak. No gay or trans person could ever be as perverted as you are. And I hate you absolutely and totally. You're against everything that I stand for. And the sooner you die, the better. Frankly. All right. I messaged my other debate guy, but oh yeah, and let me ban you. Quick. Where's the Sorry, I still got to do this on YouTube. There we go. Alrighty, buddy. Yes, we have another debate in an hour. Sorry, you can see my monitor. It's hard to, like, keep this all exactly how I want it. I'm gonna have to get a better system here, because right now I have the camera, like, clutching my lamp pole for dear life, and it's not ideal. I think that's fine. I mean, I'm sure there are gay and trans people who are as bad as him, but being gay or trans has nothing to do with it, obviously. This could be good to cover. What's that? Republican governors in 15 states are turning down food money for 8 million children. That's pretty cool. Let me just quit this here. I actually have a couple of segments that I have on the back burn. Oh, that's still the cats. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, they got up at some point. See what happened. Oh! They zooming. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see. Look at the babies. The babies. There they go! They scream. Scrim! Angry scrim. Or excited scrim. Probably excited. Little asshole feral baby that's still outside my house. My hand looks awful because of him. Him and the kitten that now I have at work. But my hand looks terrible because of them. Because I'll put food down. Like, I'll give them treats and shit, and then he'll, like, try to hit my hand. And he always does it with his claws. I thought I had him so that he wasn't doing it with his claws. And I had him, like, giving me high fives and shit. I thought it was really cute. And then, like, out of nowhere... Sorry, I'm still fucking with this. We'll just do this for now. And then out of nowhere, he just decides to go for it. You know? He's like, fuck you! And he stabbed me. With his razor-sharp claws. He realized you were a polytheist. Yeah, that was so weird. Why did he bring up polytheism? Why did he bring up polytheism? That doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, that has no bearing on your positions, which are abhorrent. Yeah, that guy's never allowed back. It's so funny that Ali stands Saudi, like they didn't bomb Yemen on US request. Yeah, that was a really weird talking point. Like, I'm not good at foreign politics, but even I know that Saudi Arabia is just basically worse America and also Muslim. you know? Like in almost all regards, right? Like, I know that's oversimplifying it, but that's basically it. Right. Yeah, all Jews and Christians are just evil, I guess. Not going to pull many people over to your side with that logic. All right, what do we got? I want to talk about. Let's see. We got the police mass grave, but maybe you know what? I should talk about that. Let's talk about the police mass grave. Sorry, I changed my mind again. I don't really want to. Okay, I don't have one of these planned out, but I have the other one. Sort of. You guys want to talk about something positive? Since the Pokemon music reminded me that I need to talk about... Well, I don't need to, but I'd like to talk about this. Let me find a good thingy.
We're taking Snorlax and Lopunny. People...
Damn it, some people already know what it is now. Okay. Sorry, I'm just pulling some stuff up. I'll get started in just a second. Okay, that's good. Apar Arcana, thank you for being here. My cat threw up directly after a morning breakfast. That sounds like a cat thing. That tracks. Cats are annoying like that. Oh, my shoulder sucks, man. I gotta get that checked out. It's one of the things I keep meaning to do is getting a PT appointment. All right, let's start this. So in leftist circles, right, we talk about community building a lot. We talk about connecting with people, right? Going out and volunteering, doing this and that and the other, what have you. There are also a lot of people that are in general just looking for group projects or groups to like spend time in and get to know people, right? Well, do I have something for you people? So there's this little thing, a little game called Pokemon Infinite Fusion. And some of you may know what this is. Let me pull up a representative picture here. Infinite Fusion. Don't worry. For those who are confused, we're gonna... You'll understand why we're talking about this. This is good. You know, not Reddit. And we'll just keep it on Google. All right, so Pokemon Infinite Fusion. So what is it? Basically, it's the greatest community building project since Pokemon Go, and I would argue even better. And I'll get into why, but these are some Pokemon that have basically just been fused together, right? We got in the top, we got like Arcanine fused with it's not Sandile, Crocodile or whatever. And then we got like Gengar fused with Alakazam. They're really cool. They're really, really cool. Snorlax fused with Nidoking. There's tons of them. And if you don't have a custom sprite built like this, now, just so you know, there's like hundreds of thousands of possibilities. Like, it will be finished eventually, but not for a long ass time. But there's like hundreds of thousands of possibilities. They can even fuse with themselves to make a cooler version of themselves. It doesn't give you any stat changes. It just gives you like an XP boost. So they have a whole stat system and everything. It's really, really, really cool. And I've been stuck on this game. I played like 75 hours of this game in just like the past month. Okay, probably too much time to be honest with you. I play it while I'm at work too. Which, by the way, I do it when I'm not working. Okay. Anyway, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because this is one of those group building projects that I just think is super, super cool. And more people are getting into it. For instance, AlphaRad, whose video I have pulled up here. More people are getting into it. So I'm not saying that it's not popular, but I do think that I want to bring more awareness to it because I think that it is just the coolest community building project that I personally have ever seen. Like they have a Discord server that you can join, and basically you can like either become a spriter or you can like a spriter is just somebody who makes these sprites in like Photopea, Photoshop, whatever, even Paint. You can use MS Paint to make these. You guys want to see real quick? Let me demonstrate. So you don't even need like super fancy software to make a Pokemon sprite and be a part of this whole project. Somebody throw out 2 Pokemon for me. Any 2. I'll take the first 2 that somebody posts. 2 Pokemon. Give me 2. 2 different ones. Eevee. Okay. Anyone else? Gengar? All right. Eevee and Gengar. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to PokemonDB.net/sprites. We're going to find our Eevee. Beautiful. We're going to find our Gengar. Open link in new tab. And now you have all the beautiful sprites from all the different generations, right? You can pick which one you want. Now, don't pick any in Gen 6 or 7, but you can pick any up to 5. I usually just pick the 5 one, paste it into here. You can see that it's got an issue with, the transparency. So that's one thing that MS Paint needs to fix. And I think they actually did in their most recent installment. But if you just screen cap it, that's fine. And that way you don't get rid of the black background by accident, the black outline. And then we'll do the same thing for Gengar. Paste that right there. And now you got these 2 little adorable little mans, right? And I turn on transparent selection. That way when we select it, it goes right through. Okay, and so then all you have to do from here, it's a very simple trick. Let me see if I remember how to do it because I've been doing these in Photopea more than on Photoshop. Sorry, on Paint. So let's see. You get brush. Or is it? Actually, you want to use the pencil tool probably. Yeah. So use the pencil tool. Zoom in as much as you can. You can select certain things. So let's say that I want to give Eevee Gengar's ears, right? So we can Control C, Control V, and we'll just drag the ear over to here. It's a little bit big, but we'll fix it up real quick here. And there's no layers here, so you do have to be careful about like if you're doing this in Paint. But since we're just demonstrating, basically the ear would go here, right? The other ear, you can drag Eevee. We'll want to erase this ear. There we go. And this is a very rough job, but you guys get the idea, right? So the ear can go there. And then what you do to recolor it is very simple. If I can remember it. Hold on one second. You get the eraser tool. I remember that part. And let's go to the biggest size, and we're going to eyedrop. We're going to left click whatever color we want to change on Eevee. We're going to right click whatever color we want to change it to. And I think on Gengar, we're going to do this color actually. So boom, you just right click. The way I'm doing this is you right click and you just drag all over it, right? Do the same thing here. Right click, eyedropper, left click, and then right click and just do that, right? And you got a beautiful little thing like that. Now, I did it a little bit wrong. I'll probably want this one for that color, so let me fix that. eyedropper, this color. There we go. I think. I don't know. You guys got the idea. So that is kind of how you make Pokemon fusions, right? It's very simple to do, and it is difficult to master. So here are a couple of the ones that I've made. There was no Sylveon Ivysaur mix yet, but Bulbasaur and Venusaur already existed for Sylveon, so I was like, okay, I'm going to make a little Sylveon mans myself then, right? Oh, my bad. Sorry. Wrong button. And this one is Chopper from One Piece. You'll see a lot of references like this. I like the references as long as you keep the body parts such that you can kind of at least tell who it is. And this one is Driftblim, which is a little bit harder to tell. It's Driftblim and Stantler. And you can't really see Driftblim that well, but I at least kept the color palette, right? This one is Teddiursa and Furret. Teddiursa and Furret. Cute little dude. And then this one's Hitmonlee and Milotic. That's what it is. And these are all my creations, and these are all in the game. They are in the game. You heard me right. When you make these, they will be put into the game. And even if somebody makes a better one than you, they will still put it into the game. Okay? Because you can actually pick. You can cycle through, right? And decide which sprite you want representing this fusion. Isn't that cool? Isn't that amazing? And then you can also do that for just the base Pokemon. There are tons of custom bases. I'll show you real quick on Discord here. So in their Discord, if you go custom base, right? Let's just search that. And we'll say, yeah, here we go. So here you have a Shudo-Wudo custom base. Right? Just a funny little mans. We have Kangaskhan custom base. Right? And so you can go in the Discord and you can use these custom bases as long as you size them properly and all that. It's a little bit of extra work around, but basically you can take the custom bases and work with them. And you can also select this custom base to use to represent Kangaskhan in the game. It's really, really, really cool. And like I said, I've dumped 75 hours into this. And again, I want to stress, the reason that I feel it is appropriate to talk about this on this channel is because as leftists and as progressives, we should be trying to build community, right? So I encourage you guys, if you are interested in Pokemon, or if you're a fusion freak like I am, I love fusion. I love the concept of it. It's just so cool to me. It always has been. So if you're like me, and you like both of those things, then this is a perfect game for you and the perfect community for you. I honestly should be involved more than I am. I don't know if I will be. I won't commit to that. But I encourage everyone in my audience and anybody watching this to go check it out for yourself and just see what you think. Get the vibe. And donate to a cool art project. So like here, I meant to show you. So Pokemon Infinite Fusion Calculator. So if you type this into Google, Pokemon Infinite Fusion Calculator, you can go to the website. And I want to show you okay. And this will just give you the main one that they use. But you can switch them in the game. So Hitmonlee fused with Milotic. And this was the first one that I ever contributed to the game. And it's right there. There it is. Oh, yeah. Another one you guys were probably like. Charizard. Furret. Fuse. Boom! That one's mine. On the left there. I made that boy. Isn't that cool? I traced like a Chinese dragon in pixel art. And then I kind of put Charizard's head onto it and gave it cool coloration. A Charizard scarf, yeah. Isn't it cool? So yeah, like I said, it is just immensely fun. There's tons to learn. And also the game itself is probably one of the best built Pokemon games ever. There's just so much to do. I think that it's a little bit surface level with some of the stuff. I think that the quests, for instance, could use a little bit more depth. Because as it is right now, you just kind of go into the hotel. Although some people like the simplicity. You could make an argument that that's good. As it is right now, you just go into a hotel and there's people standing there and then you talk to them and they're like, oh, you want to do this hobby for me? And then you're just like, yeah, okay. And then you finish the quest and they give you a cool item. I think it's really neat. I think that it's more than the overworld sprite Pokemon games have ever done, obviously. It's a very bulky game for a phone at least. So if you're on the phone, you can't play it, or at least it's not recommended. But if you're on a desktop or a laptop, it's perfect. Because it's not very it's memory. It's big, but it's not huge, and it also doesn't do a whole lot to your RAM, so it runs fine usually on most computers. So it's just really easy to get into. It's really easy. And like I said, as progressives, we should be trying to be involved in different communities, right? I encourage you still to go to local meetings of something and get involved there, because I think that's important. That being the case, if you are terminally online like I am, and you need people to talk to who are interested in the same things that you are, and you don't want it to be about politics, and you also want like a contributing element there. You don't have to contribute if you don't want to, but you can. This is a perfect community for you. It's Pokemon Infinite Fusion. Google search it, get on the Discord. I'm there. You'll see my work there. It's just really cool. So that's about all I have to say about it. I think that was good. Pokemon. Pokemon. It's Pokemon's. One sec. One wrong move and I'll dox myself. Okay, cool. Well, now it's too warm. My feet are cold, but my whole upper body is now warm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, of course. Share all of your creations at the Gunter Court. You can do it in gaming or you can do it in hobbies. I don't care which one. Or fuzzy socks. That's a good idea. I need some of those grippy socks from the hospital. It's funny because that's a trope for like mentally insane people or like whatever. But like you get grippy socks in the hospital regardless. They're anti-slip socks. So the reason that like they're associated with medicine is because you want to make sure that your client's feet are warm, but that they also don't slip. Like a grippy socks girly, nice. Yeah, she's got 10 pairs of grippy socks in her room. You know, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Right, this is a protein shake. Forgot. You ever done that where you like are expecting one flavor and then like you get blasted with another? It's really weird. You know, it's really funny. I just had that fucked up debate. And I remember Shark, I was watching when he recently had, or I was listening at least. I was in the car a lot for a lot of it. But he also had a debate with somebody who was just completely unhinged. And at the very end of it, like he started off by saying, I'm a conservative troll. Which like you don't start off with that, right? If you're a good troll at least. And then at the very end of it, he calls Shark a fucking N-word. And then Shark had to stop stream and like restart. It's crazy. That's one of the fears that I have about bringing people on for debates. I know that it's going to happen at some point and there's not much I can do about it. All I can hope is that, you know, like I'll stop the stream, I'll do what I gotta do. I gotta like delete the VOD, whatever. But all I can really hope is that the YouTube gods will be kind to me when it does happen, because there's really not a whole lot you can do about it except for just stop taking calls, and I'm not going to do that. What slur are they going to call you? Probably the F slur, right? I mean, most people assume that because I'm a progressive and I'm, you know, I look the way that I do, that must mean that I'm gay, right? So probably the F slur. I'm hoping this next person is more reasonable. Like, not a whole lot more. I like the crazies. I love the crazies, right? I don't love that guy, obviously. But I do have fun with it, you know what I mean? I love dragging it out of them. Although for him, he just kind of pulled it out on his own. But I feel like that was too easy. I need more of a challenge. That one was too easy. Low quality conservative debate bros, man. Yeah, warm-up at best. At best, really. I don't even consider that a warm-up. I was just sitting there bullying the guy for like 30 minutes or however long it was. I really wish that my the getting indoctrinated by a devil worshiper video got more views. It's only at 200 right now. It's my worst performing video in a long ass time. Not for my sake, just because I thought that guy was cool. And I hope more people go watch him. But also kind of for my sake. Sorry, I'm replying to stupid comments. I wish you had asked him what he ever built since people like him built the world. That is a good point. I wish I had said that. The only thing he ever built was cum in his sock. From the thought of, you know, doing unspeakable things to underage girls, probably. In wartime. You know, after killing like 50 people and their families. Because that's moral, right? That's like his moral truth, is that that's fine. It's funny, I had a fucking Satan worshiper on, right? And I personally know that, like, people from the Satanic Temple are good people. Like, they're usually pretty cool. I know that. But just in terms of how it looks to the outside, you know, outside our bubble, our admittedly somewhat insulated bubble, the fact that I could have, like, a proper conversation with a Satanist or, like, a Satan-worshipping person, and I could not with that last person. No. It's unthinkable. I think we got time for a quick react. Oh man, I didn't play this. Hold on, I gotta add this to the segment. Sorry, Dubsy's gonna have to put this in post. I meant to play this. This is kind of what fusion looks like during the game.
People want to fuse it. I know it's gonna be some furry ass big chungus.
That was Snorlax and Lopunny.
What do you mean would? Chad, you can't say smash to big chungus. Is this just gonna be a big chonky penguin?
Oh, I hope so.
Yo!
Let's go. I want that on my team.
Jesus Christ, no! In what world was I supposed to be ready for Club Penguin? Whatever I thought wrong. Okay, and when you put them together, you get Hatsune Miku. That's not even a joke. That's just Hatsune Miku.
Okay, what I will say... Damn it. What I will say, though, is at the very least, they kept the coloration. I cannot stand it when people just, like, throw sprited characters in there from anime. It's so lazy. But anyway, I just thought that was cool. We'll add it to the segment somehow. Thank you, Dubsy. Love you. This video was literally my intro to the concept. To the concept of what? But Club Penguin is fine? Yes! Because it makes sense. It's funny. And it's a meme. Also, I made Squidward. And also, it was still colored properly. You can still see where the inspiration was taken from. That's my point. That's my only point. The original for, here, let me show you. Pokemon Okay, so let me show you real quick. So the original for, like, if you just combine two Sylveons together, I don't know if it's still up, but I'll pull it up myself if I have to. So we just fused two Sylveons. Yeah, this shit! This is what I'm talking about. Like, what is this? Why? This sucks. Like, it's fine, it's cute, it's whatever, but it sucks. Well, right. It's just a human. That's my problem. It is literally just a human. They didn't even attempt to Pokemonize it, if that makes sense. Pokenize. That's pretty good. You gotta Pokenize it. Forbidden Frosted Flakes. I don't know what you're referring to. Probably something from like 10 minutes ago. I gotta be better at checking YouTube chat. Just a joke on Sylveon being the trans flag. Then they should have just put a trans flag. Just put a trans flag at that point. They're like on a flagpole. You know, you can pretty it up. You can make it like art. But like if it's just a joke, then just make it a trans flag. I agree it's not good. Well, there you go. Does that mean I can catch that one Poke fan that wears the Charizard suit? I mean, you can put it... I forgot to mention this also. You can put in your own custom sprites. Like, if you want to take a pixelized... Now, they have to be 288 by 288 pixels. But if you just want to take a picture of, like, I don't know. Here. We'll do this. Ready? This will take a minute, but by the time I'm done with it, maybe we'll be ready for the debate. Here, I don't want to do this. Okay, I'll just show you guys because otherwise it's going to be very boring to just wait. Turn on the music while I do this. I was going to react to something, but I don't even have anything to react to. Actually, I think I need to update. Wait, do I even have it? Oh, hey, there it is. There it is. Oh, wait. Sorry. You know what? This is too much effort. This is too much effort. My point is, you're able to, like, if I wanted to put a picture of Vosh in there to replace Rapidash, I can do that. Are they planning to add more Pokemon? They are always adding more Pokemon. They are always adding more. They just added Cresselia. And I actually contributed to that one. I made Cresselia Bulbasaur. I'll pull it up. There you are. There she is. And yeah, you can have all sorts of themed anchors. And you can also do it with, people do that with Aegislash. Aegislash is in the game, so there's a lot of Aegislash fusions. Give me a Pokemon. Any Pokemon that's not Aegislash. Any at all. I love Cresselia Bulbasaur. Thank you. It looks... My only issue with it is that it looks a little bit too much like Cyndaquil. But it's simple. It works. And I think I nailed it. Growlithe. So here's Aegislash Growlithe. Now, this is one version of it, right? The way that these work is that you give the face and the colorations to one Pokemon, of one Pokemon to the other. So for this one, they use Growlithe as the body, and they use the face and the coloration of Aegislash. Does that make sense? Now, if we were to get the inverse of this, which it doesn't even look like exists yet, so I'll have to find a different one. Why am I putting Photo P? Here we go. You know what? We'll just do Aegislash Arcanine. But I'll show you what happens when there's no custom sprite for it. That one's very pretty. Arcanine and Sylveon. Both of them are very pretty. But you can see, like, the two different ways you do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, so this is what happens. This is what happens when you do not have a custom sprite, okay? They just, like, an algorithm just, like, takes the face, rips it off, throws it onto the other body, and then they replace the colors. And also, like, the tail and the arms. That's why you see the tail up here. Because that's what it, like, registers as the tail. It's very bad. But, we'll do Arcanine. I'm sure that exists. What?! I thought this one would be done for sure. Well, that one's up for grabs. Let me see if, Aegislash Arcanine. Has file. Okay, so this was a work in progress that somebody was working on, but needs some work. But there's no Aegislash Arcanine yet. So let me try somebody else. Let's do. You know what? I know which one has it. Sylveon. Yep, there it is. That's much better. See, you can just have like a trans-themed sword. It's got a little smile too. See that? And yes, it affects their calculated stats as well, yeah. The stats, I believe, for attack, defense, and speed favor the body. And for special attack, special defense, and HP, it favors the head. It does a calculation, but that's just like what it favors, basically. Yeah, this one's really cool. So, like, there's this sprite, and then the other one that's from the website. And all, like, that, those two, and then any others that you find, like this one. This one's really cool. Like, these are all in the game. They're all in the game, and they made it really easy to, like, swap between sprites. They have a system for it. It's so easy. Because it used to be, not even that long ago, like last year, it used to be that you had to, you literally had to go into the file, and you had to, like, drop your sprite, the one that you want, you know what I mean? Like, into the files in order to make that what appears. But now you can do it directly in the game. It is so cool. What's the green text one? The green... Oh, T-Rex one. Yeah, Tyranitar is probably what you're thinking of. That's more, that's more Godzilla. But you can see he's got a little sword and shield here. Nobody's done this one yet. Oh, sorry. Now you can see he's got a little sword and shield here. So yeah, nobody's done this one yet, though. The sword itself doesn't get very much love because it's really hard to work with. It's understandable. But, you know, with some creative... it's a big limitation, but with some creative workaround, you can make something really cool. Bino ML is just funny. Wait, how do you, what's the name of the Pokemon? Is... Oh, it's not in the calculator. Yeah, the Discord has some fusions that, like, triple fusions and fusions with Pokemon that aren't in the game yet. Delmise. And Venusaur. Oh, it's not on the calculator. Okay. That one's really cool. Yeah, the calculator needs a bad update, honestly. It also needs something where I can scroll through the different sprites like I can in the game. What's this? Oh, nice. Oh, my bad. Sorry. There we go. Okay, cool. Which one has the most custom sprites? Of course. Of course. Let's take a look, shall we? Look at all the custom sprites for Sylveon. Katie, come here. You know the Fusion game?
Yeah.
Look at all these custom sprites people made for Sylveon.
Oh. Oh.
It has the most custom sprites of any of them.
Of course it does. Oh,
That one's
they're
cool.
so cute. I love that one. I love the one that looks very big down in the corner. No, one over.
I like the wiener dog.
The wiener dog is very cute.
And if you keep going, these are the
how
fusions.
Pretty.
This one's mine.
Oh,
See, that's my name.
Baby.
That's my name. I modeled mine more.
So cute.
I don't like this one. I modeled mine more after this one.
I love that. It looks like a little present.
I know, right? Well, I saw that, like, you know, you got like the big present thing here, and then I just made a little guy.
A little guy.
Little guy.
He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
They're super cool, though.
They're so fun and so cute. Oh, I love them.
Dragonair's the little Dragonite? No. Dragonair actually looks nothing like Dragonite.
They're all so cute.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have a cup of tea and then I'm gonna start dinner.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I love that game. I have it on my laptop and not on my desktop, though. Like, I have it on my desktop, but I have not played it on my desktop in a long time. It has Ivysaur, I approve. Well, Ivysaur got no love. There was one for Bulbasaur, there was one for Venusaur, and then they left out my boy Ivysaur. They always leave out the fucking middle evolution. I feel like Pokemon Infinite Fusion Jesus over here, taking in all the, you know, the fusions that nobody wants to give a shit about. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with you? What, you don't like? I literally had to do Poliwhirl and Poliwag and Abra myself. I had to do this one myself. Nobody's done this, and nobody's done this one either. This one's mine. Does it say my name? It doesn't say my name anywhere. It's fine. But this one is mine. Like, why the fuck did nobody think to do this yet? Oh, sorry. I keep doing that. This one's mine. Really are the modern messiah as opposed to Pokemon Fusion. This is true. All of these things are true. The little Dragonite. So, are you referring to Dunsparce? Here, hold on. Feisty Geisty in YouTube chat. Are you referring to Dunsparce? Because that's the closest I can think of for, like, little Dragonite, but, like, it's not... I don't think it's close enough. Dunsparce is, like, the best thing. Is it Dun or Dun? Dunsparce. No, Dunsparce. He finally got an evolution. Look at my boy. Look at my boy. There was a really cool video because it's really rare. It's not really rare. It's like 1 out of 10 times you'll get a 3-segment dud unsparse. Most of the time it's just 2 segments. We love them anyway. That's not their fault. But, you know, if you want a rare one, right? If you're a disgusting geneticist, well, not a geneticist, geneticists are fine. You know what I mean? Like, basically a Nazi. If you're a disgusting Nazi, then you do care. And so, like, it's like 1 out of 10 times you'll get a eugenics. Thank you. You'll get a triple segment dud unsparse. But on top of that, there's another layer to that. It's actually 2 additional. Here, you know what? Let me just pull up the video. Hold on. Oh shit, that's my email. Fuck. I don't think there's any revealing info. I'll walk in. Nice. Be back for the second debate. Nice. I just mean the one that evolves into. Oh, you're thinking Dratini and Dragonair. There's Dratini and there's Dragonair. Dunsparce, short, star, shiny. There's this it.
We finally got the 3-segment shiny to Dunsparce. Now it's time to see how many marked shinies we got.
There we go.
We got 19 uncommon marks, making it the most common mark. 12 Sleepy, 7 Lunchtime, 6 Cloudy, 4 Dawn, 2 Thorny.
So Pokemon get a mark, I guess, and like there's a very rare mark. It's like more rare than a shiny, I think. And it doesn't mean anything to my knowledge. It's just there. Like, it's just on their card. But if you get a really rare one, it's marked with, like, a star.
Too prideful. Too rare.
So basically, it's, like, really, really, really hard to get a shiny dud unsparse with 3 segments and the rare mark.
1 Scowling, 1 Peeved, 1 Jittery, 1 Pumped Up, 1 Intense, 1 Angry, and 1 Kindly. That's a total of 61 marked shinies, 15 different marks, and 2 rare marks, might I remind you. We finally—
Okay. I guess that's how that works. I don't know. All right. I'm going to take a brief siesta. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in a few minutes for our second debate, because we got 2 of them for you tonight. We're treating you good. We're feeding the debate hogs real good tonight. I'll be right back. All right. You guys want to hear a little segue real quick? I don't know about segue, non sequitur. I don't know. Here, I'll let this keep playing. Actually, off topic is my point. So, I'm getting more into wine lately. Got a little glass right here because this is like the fancy person's, vice. It's fine to have alcoholism as long as it's wine. But I've been getting more into wine lately, and I'm not alcoholic, by the way. It started by us getting this. It's Kinsmarolli red semi-sweet wine. And me and Katie drank this one night. We just busted it open on a weeknight and watched One Piece, and it was so damn good. It was so good. We drained it. We polished it in one night. It barely tastes like alcohol. Like, it tastes like church wine, right? And so I was like chasing that church wine flavor again. I don't even know how expensive this was. It was a gift. But anyway, I was like, okay, I'm now chasing the church wine flavor. Because, religious trauma or something. I'm not shut up. But, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting. This one's like Apothecary or something. Like, that's what it's called, the brand. And there's like a hot Apothecary one. I bought one. I can't remember the name of it, but I just polished one that was like, it was another sweet red. And that one was like a little bit more tart. I can't remember the name of it. I wish I did. That one's a little bit more tart. Like it had a little more punch to it, but this one's like a little sweeter and smoother. It's very nice. The Apothecary stuff is Apothecary or like apostolic or whatever. Apothic. Yeah. Apothic, I think. And it's really good. It's like really good. If you guys grew up Christian or Catholic or whatever, and you liked the church wine growing up, that Apothic shit, that's what that is. It's pretty good. I think this might be like a... No, I think this is it. I do think this is the one. I'm not even going to say that it's like any different. All right, I haven't heard from the guy that we're supposed to be talking to, so let me figure out what's going on and if we're even still talking, which we better be, because I have nothing else planned. Give me content. Hold on. I gotta do something. Okay. So Dubsy or whoever ends up editing this, I need you to put this in post after the debate. I got an email from our friend Oliver, the guy who was on for, the one who likes rape, right? The one who's okay with rape. And he sent me an email because I told him in YouTube chat, I said, you're abhorrent and the sooner you die, the better, right? And I stand by that. And he sent me an email. So let's read it. Hello, Mr. Gunther. I am sorry that you found my perspective on concubinage as repulsive and degenerate. I found our discussion very interesting and mind-opening, although I will have to agree to disagree with you on all the matters discussed. One thing that I was not able to get into during our discussion is that Sharia does penalize rape when not in cases of war. Oh, well, as long as not in case of war. If the man is married, he will be stoned to death, and if he is unmarried, he will be given lashes and deported. Cool. So it's a little bit of... government-sanctioned violence on there, like that. If he used a lethal weapon, he could even be crucified. I am not an expert on Sharia, and I apologize for any confusion. Well, that cleared that right up. I very much hope you can invite me on your show again. Not happening. I very much enjoyed our conversation, and further debates could help propagate my view, if mine is the correct one, or help propagate your view, if yours is the correct one. May Allah guide and bless your faith. You are a disgrace to Allah, my friend. Allah will strike you down. He will smite you until there is nothing left but ash of your body, dude. I hope you understand. I think I have a couple Muslim friends, and let me tell you something. They would never, ever, ever stand by you. They would cast you out. I think most Muslims would, actually. I think Muslims would find you repulsive, my friend. And if they don't, if you're in circles with Muslims who don't find you repulsive, you're hanging out with the wrong Muslims. Suck my dick, and you're never coming on my show again because you're disgusting, and I hate you. Okay. I think that clears that up. All right. Back to what we're doing. Let me figure out what's going on with this guy. Mark as spam. Can I do that? Move to spam. There we go. Okay. This. Okay, I got them on Discord. It looks like they're online. Just waiting for a response. You know, you're doing really good when you're like, so usually rape is punished, but here are some examples where it's not, right? It's like rape is bad. There's like never, outside of very specific situations where somebody's like forcing the choice on you, where it's, for like, I'm sure you could come up with some hypothetical where like rape is the less bad option. I'm sure that exists, right? But outside of hypotheticals, rape is never acceptable, okay? Never. And certainly not in wartime. You know, like, oh, because it's wartime? Oh, now it's open season? Got it. He just wants an excuse. He's disgusting. And it's, you know, I do hope that he changes for the better. I really do. But until he does, he is not my problem, and I don't want anything to do with him. Apothic, not really expensive. It's really not. It's pretty good. Now, granted, I am used to cheap wine because I usually get it from the fucking gas station or some shit. But it's really good for what it is and how expensive it is. What's up, Oasis? Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys while we're waiting for it looks like New World Fool to respond. Hold on. I have too many tabs open. I can't believe I had J. Michael Bailey and everything pulled up for that fucking debate before. I like did research on people, man. On actual fucking figures. And he just shit on it. Rude as fuck. Anyway, let me show you guys something. For those who have not seen my new video yet, first of all, what the fuck? Alright? Second of all, you're missing out.
It's, you know, even as a Satanist, the way
Watch this.
I engage with Christians, not all Christians, you know, people immediately assume because you're a Satanist,
Watch
you know,
carefully.
you have a problem with any
When the
given
song
Christian or
starts.
all of Christianity. Absolutely not. Speaking for myself, and I know I find the same reflected in many other members I know of the Satanic Temple, and in the Satanic Temple's own spoken word.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, Oasis. Love you. It looks great. Oasis did that. You can find them. Her, sorry. You can find her on Twitter under OAS Music. Get over there. Editing is so goddamn hard. That was more so. That was made in Blender. Oasis is very good at Blender. It's not. It's. I feel like editing is underselling it. That was like constructing that from the ground up, like as much as you possibly can. It's really, really good. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I don't know. Like hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. Because like I edit. I'm not like dissing editors. I love you, Dubsy. Okay, don't hate me. But Blender is a skill that I feel is just a little bit like the incline for learning that shit and then having the patience for it. I feel like it's just a little bit more like intensive, just a little bit more intense. Where the fuck is New World Fool at? It's 1 minute past. He's late. It is 6:01. What should I nickname my Bulbasaur? Scringles. Scringly. Skrittalovenheimer. Yeah, he did lose. Good point. I do think this person will be a little bit more sane just based on our conversation, but who's to say? Using in our next logo. I made those custom emotes. The ones at the top of the emote list. I made those. Well, I say that I made them. What I mean is I edited over Pepe's. Oh, sorry. What's the topic? Basically the same thing. The topic is more vague. But... because the last one was supposed to just be about autogynophilia, right? But it turned into just transgenderism, if that's what you want to call it. And that's what this debate is about, transgenderism. That's like the... you know... that's like the title at the top, if you will. Yeah, and I'm also disappointed because that guy was such a freak, I didn't really get to pick apart his arguments. You know? Like, it just was... like, what am I supposed to say? Once you reveal that you're okay with rape in any situation ever at all, what am I supposed to say to that? It's over. Emotes have been changed? Who changed the emotes? Oh, you changed Sag. Well, I didn't personally misspell Sag, Queen Laura. That's just how it is on the site. It's all caps. But I do like it better when it's just... oh, wait, no, I did misspell it. Thank you. You're right. Never mind. You are correct. I take it back. Queen Laura is smarter than I am. No, okay, so here's the thing. I don't do that. Every single time that I put an emote in, almost every time, it takes... so the first time that I go to rename it, it takes the last letter off. You know? It's like one of those very small, tedious little things that the site still needs to, you know, be fixed. Like, just in general, the White Forest thing. I gotta pee again. Goddamn. I'm peeing too much. I did have a lot of fluid today, though. Alright, well, we're still waiting on this guy, so I'm gonna put you on the BRB screen again. I'm gonna take a pee, and then... if this guy doesn't get back to us by, like, 6:20 or so, then I think I'm just gonna start a new segment. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry guys. I feel like I'm going crazy. Because I remember I scheduled one this coming weekend with somebody, and I could have sworn that I had another one scheduled for tonight. I could have sworn. But I think I might have mixed them up. I think I might have done a little fucky wucky. I think our other one might be this weekend. Only one. Only one. Sorry, guys. I could have sworn I scheduled one for 6. I can't find it anywhere. I'm not getting any messages. Whatever. We have content we can watch. It's fine. Sorry, guys. What's this? Yeah, I figured. Thank you. I have a real react. Yes! Okay, this will be a great one.
How many genders do you think there are?
I would not.
If that gives you any idea of where we're going.
Where's Kamala?
Okay. Okay. Sorry about the confusion, guys, but we're right back on track, okay? I got a great React segment for you. The world is crazy these days, what with all the politics and everything. They didn't have politics back in my day. They only invented that in the last few years or so. 2020 with COVID, actually. They invented it with COVID is when politics was invented. So anyway, this thing called politics. And so there's a lot of people on the street who don't know a whole lot about politics, right? If you just walk up to your average Joe and you ask him what his political views are, you're probably going to get a lot of inconsistencies, It's just something that you can't really get around. The average person has too much shit going on to think about politics. I don't blame them for it. That doesn't make them stupid. That doesn't make them... It just is what it is. Politically speaking, most people are just inept, okay? They haven't sat down to think about their political prescriptions for more than like 5 minutes at a time. That being the case, our friend Jesse Waters, okay, does this thing where... And this video is not going to be about Jesse. It will be about someone else, but I have to set up for it. So Jesse Waters does this thing, and I don't know if he always does it personally, but he's the Fox News host, if you didn't know. He's basically Tucker Carlson at home. If you ask for Tucker Carlson and your mom says we have Tucker Carlson at home, you get Jesse Waters. So he went out onto the street, and he does this a lot, or at least he has somebody do it for him, where they'll go out onto the street and they'll ask random average Joes questions about, like, you know, America, or historical figures' names, or even modern day politicians' names, which in this case, Waters did with Kamala Harris. So let's just take a small snippet and see what we're working with here. So, and I'll explain in a minute why I'm bringing this up.
Who's this?
That's Vice President Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris, your choice?
You have to say Kamala.
Yuck, Kamala Harris.
Our lovely Vice President.
Who's this?
I can't even tell you who is that.
Take a guess.
So yeah, we got to get somebody who's like really woke looking, right? With like the pink and the purple and whatever else, and college kid, college age, whatever, minority group. And we got to make them look really stupid, because that's what Fox News loves doing, right? Even though this kid's probably like a fucking bioengineer or some shit and just doesn't do politics. So also this, I can't decide if I like this hat. Honestly, it's drippy, but I think it looks really good on him, and it would not look good on me. I think that's what it is. Anyway, the reason that I'm bringing this up is because this is becoming a very popular form of content for conservatives. Everybody from big names like Jesse Waters on Fox News to small people like this guy, Almost Smart, with 1.27K subscribers. It's fewer than me. Nonetheless, he's actually doing quite well on his videos. I did not get nearly this many views when I only had 1.27K. He's reeling in just about as many as I do, probably on average. You got like 2.2K here, 704. Well, this one's only 33. But you can tell it's like the street interview content, 8.7K on this. Do you watch porn, right? Actually, it might be fun to like take his most popular one, but this one's from 2 years ago. So we'll take the one that he uploaded 2 days ago because it's got 2.2K views. And I just want to take a look at the content, right? Let's take a look at what the small bean conservatives are up to.
How many genders do you think there are?
Off to a great
I
start.
would not like to participate in this interview.
Oh, wow. Just your opinions?
Just my opinions, yeah.
Well, that's probably one of the best answers you can give. Or, no, honestly, yeah, I think this is fine. If you just walk away, that's also acceptable. But I think this is also a fine answer. Also, she's cute.
And like, I would not like to speak
love
on
fits like
them.
this.
Come to the middle of Newtown, where it is obviously predominantly focused in LGBT.
Yeah, here's what you don't do. You don't chase them and continue giving them content. Never, ever, ever.
Like, yeah, so we have Transfer over there. Do you guys think that there may be a bit of a bias with who you are interviewing?
That's the point, yeah.
That is the point. That's honest. Whoa, cool. Whoa, he's dabbing on the gays, bro. That's so cool, bro. Cool, bro. Stupid trans.
Okay, so very simple.
Stupid transies.
How many genders do you think there are?
Oh god. Lots, I guess.
Lots, I guess?
Yeah.
How many do you think there are?
You know how many there are? I don't care.
I don't really have an opinion on it, I guess.
Valid answer.
As many as needed.
As many as needed?
Yeah.
So all he's going to do this entire time is ask people that he clocks as like liberal leaning the same question. How many genders do you think there are? Do you know what the answer to this is? I don't care. I don't care. Why? Or better, if you want to keep the conversation going, why should I care? Or why are you asking me this? What's the point?
Give me like a direct, like a
or again, just walk
specific
away.
number?
I honestly couldn't.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a complete spectrum, I guess.
Holy
Complete
shit.
spectrum. Would you
Look at this. That's fancy. I like that. I like that.
you
Not
have
for me,
a,
but I like it on him.
a specific number?
Very drippy.
I can't really say. I mean, it depends because, like, I think
Damn.
each person has the ability to, like, really determine.
This dude's outfit is everything right now. Holy shit. How can you even put yourself in the same frame as this person and act like you're better than them? That's insane.
Where they are along that spectrum.
Yeah.
I guess it depends what you mean by
Jamie,
gender.
I would love that.
You
Drop
know,
him.
I
Drop
don't
the
really.
links.
By your definition, how many genders would you say there are?
Dubsy, cut this out. But Jamie, if you go to my site, you'll be able to link things. I don't think you can do it on YouTube. Or if you go to my Discord, which is linked in the description. Also, the site's linked in the description of this live stream. All right, Dubsy, cut back in.
Infinite?
An infinite amount?
Yes.
However many they could be.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
many
why not?
genders would you say there are?
2.
Another thing you can do, if you want to sound like a smarty pants, well, of course she's going to say that, is you can say, well, that's kind of a weird question because gender is a, it's a societal construct and it's just basically whatever we make it. You know, today's man, quote unquote man, right, is not the same gender as like a man from like the 1800s. Like all of our mannerisms are different. What we wear is different. How we present ourselves and how we behave in public is different. Not all the way, but it's different enough that I would almost consider them different genders at this point. So by that logic, if we both agree on that, which this person won't, but if you want to sound smart about it, that's how you do it. Now, he's not going to listen to one word of that. He's just going to repeat the question. How many genders are there? And at that point, you can say, listen, I already explained this to you. It doesn't seem like you're here in good faith, and I'm going to go.
True.
I feel like that's so controversial.
I don't think it's controversial.
But you still want people to hate me. I feel like nowadays it's so easy to hate people.
I would not like to.
Okay, so let's go over this person since this is a different specimen, if you will. This is your conservative-leaning normie centrist, okay? This is an uneducated person who likely votes either liberal or conservative. It could be either. But they're right-leaning. They don't know a whole lot about the trans thing. They know it's a touchy topic, and they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. This person is not a bad person. What I will say is that when you confront people like this, like, first of all, don't ever confront them about trans shit, okay? Just don't. If somebody doesn't know what being trans means or doesn't know anything about gender or whatever, just don't bring it up. Just don't. Unless it's important to you and that person is important in your life, obviously. But if they're just some stranger, just don't bring it up. Why? Why would you do that? You know? But if, you know, like this guy, what he's doing is taking advantage of the fact that she is ignorant to all of the gender stuff. And then he's framing this clip in such a way to make us look like the crazy ones. That's all that's happening here.
I would not like to speak on them with someone who I'm not sure exactly. I'm not wanting to get into like a debate thing.
I'm not debating anyone. I'm just asking people their opinions.
Well, yeah. Well, I think that there.
Keep the mic close to your face until you're done talking, buddy. Interviewing 101. I've only done this once before, but I know how it works.
Are as many genders as you think. Like, it's a spectrum. So think of it like a circle rather
there you
than
go.
a line.
Okay.
And do you think you could give me a clear definition of what a man or a woman is?
Whoever identifies as one.
Just your definition.
There's no definition.
Whoa, perfect.
What about trans women competing in professional sport against real women? How would you feel about that?
Again, no emotion. Like
No emotion?
No
True.
emotion. Like, they are women, and I don't have any issue with it. Also, I'm just not a sporty person.
Not a sporty
Like,
person.
I just don't really care.
I think she's doing the best she can. Unfortunately, conservatives are going to look at this and immediately hate her simply because of what she's wearing, even though this is like very baddie coded. You know what I mean? It's such a good outfit. I love this shit.
Do you think they have any inherent biological advantages? Biological women?
The answer to this is not no. Okay, do not let them trap you. The answer to this is yes. And also, who cares? Okay? Because there are biological advantages and disadvantages in every single human being on the planet. And obviously, there are going to be differences between a male body versus a female body in terms of what they can do athletically on an average basis, right? Obviously, that is true. But why are we focusing in on whether or not you have a penis or a vagina? Why not? If that's the case, okay, so what are the things that you think are unequal between men and women when they're competing? And usually you'll get things like testosterone, bone density, musculature, all things that we can measure outside of gender and sex. So if your argument is that men have a biological advantage or whatever, just pick a few parameters and judge people based off of those. Okay? Like, if you want to have women's sports, like, you know, have those guidelines, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But the guidelines should be universal. If you have a cis woman with testosterone that's too high, she shouldn't compete in women's sports the same way that a trans woman couldn't. Okay? I don't like that. But if you're going to be consistent, at least that's consistent.
Not particularly, no.
Particularly?
No.
Okay, so do you think like testosterone or
There we
strength
go.
or anything like that plays into
she answered
professional
wrong.
sport or?
No, because it's all about skill, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Amazing. That was so great. Thank you.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, yeah, good idea. Good idea. You have no clue where that hand's been.
Focusing these interviews in predominantly face. You are
That's the
going
point,
into-
yeah. Otherwise we won't get any opposing point of views. We'll get one point of view. That's the point.
You know what you can do? Blast really loud copyright music. That's how you fuck these up. If you see somebody filming this shit and they come up to you and start, like, you know, asking you questions and you do not want to be in their video, just start playing really loud copyright music.
Well, you're only getting 1 point.
No, we've gotten two. We get two.
Pick a song,
We're
any
getting,
song.
Like people were saying there's only two genders. People saying that trans women shouldn't compete in sport. We're getting people saying all those things, and we're just
Well,
interviewing
yeah,
here.
but you are going into Newtown as well. Like,
Yeah, that's
Do
the
you-
point, because we get people that will say, like, the opposing point of view. Otherwise, if we get one point of view, it's a boring video. We need 2 points of view.
well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it be alright if I asked you guys to not post
Thank you,
this
Jamie.
video? Like,
Don't use the content of you. Don't use the video of you. You don't want us to use the video of you.
yeah, would it be alright?
It's fine, yeah, no problem.
Sorry for the hassle.
But you have to high five me.
I
What? Ew, what? That's such a beta move. He's trying to be, like, funny and quirky and whatever, and he's just, it seems like he's looking for an excuse to touch her. Grody.
You have to high five me.
I don't want to touch
Why not?
you. I don't like touching people.
High five?
That's
Fist
fair.
bump?
I don't like touching people.
Air high five.
Bruh, shut the fuck up.
5. Okay. We're using her content.
Ew.
How many
Yo, he owned her, dude. He epically owned her. You look like a freak. Ew.
genders do you think there are?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I grew up in the States in a really accepting, it was a Quaker school throughout my whole life.
What's a Quaker school?
Quaker's a religion.
Quaker, member of the Society of Friends Church, a Christian group that stresses the guidance of the Holy Spirit, that rejects outward rites and an ordained ministry, and that has a long tradition of actively working for peace and opposing war. I'm going to take that with a grain of salt, but we'll let him explain.
Kind of similar to the Amish. So,
okay, if it's similar to the Amish, it's a cult.
It's more of just kind of a be your own person. You know, there's that of God in everyone is one of their phrases.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that, and I think you can be whoever you want to be. And I'm not really sure that there is a right answer. I don't think there ever will be a right answer, you know, but...
Do you have an answer, like a number, or would you say a finite, would you say an infinite amount?
No. I mean,
like this guy.
if you want, like, if I had to put a number, I'd say 3, just meaning the third being whatever. You know, I don't want to group everyone into one category, but I would say obviously...
you know what? Full points. I think that's pretty chill.
You know, you've got males, you've got females, and then you've got everybody else who feels like they don't fit in, and, you know...
It's oversimplifying it, but I'm not going to nitpick this guy. He seems chill. And also just like he's trying to go about his day.
Some people would be upset with me, and they'd say that they shouldn't all be in one category and everyone should have their own, and that's fair enough, and I understand that.
How many genders do you think there
That's
are?
really funny, Jamie.
Oh, no idea.
No idea? Okay.
If I had to pick a number, I'd say let's throw it as a dozen.
Nice. I love this guy.
Now, how many?
Look at how fun this guy looks. I love him.
I'd say
he looks like such a character. I want to have a drink with this man.
Let's throw it as a dozen.
Drippy as hell too. Yeah. Look at all these dripped out.
How many genders would you say there are?
Ooh. I feel
you
like
cannot come in a fucking basic t-shirt with not even a logo on it and talk to these dripped out motherfuckers and think that you're going to be the one that looks good at the end of it. Sorry.
it's definitely a spectrum.
Yeah.
I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a spectrum?
I think it's a spectrum.
Could you give me a specific number or just not?
How many colors are there?
Personally, I think I couldn't.
How many genders would you say there are?
That's another good response, by the way, that I just realized. Just ask him, say, I don't know, how many colors are there?
I would say that there's over 3.
Nice.
Yeah. There's over 3. There's at least 3. It's not really 3, yeah.
Okay. And could you give me
She looks like she has copious amounts of crystals. Just saying.
a definition of what you say a man or a woman is? A clear definition?
A man is somebody who chooses
She
to
likes
identify
incense.
as a man.
Yeah.
And a woman is somebody
True.
who chooses to identify as a woman.
Yes.
Do you think that's a good definition?
Wait, take that, Donald Trump. What?
And a woman is somebody who chooses to identify as a woman.
What? Okay.
Do you think that's a good definition?
I mean, it doesn't hurt me.
Yeah.
It makes
True.
other people feel comfortable in themselves,
The answer to that, is that a good definition? No, it's not.
so it's really not my business.
The best one we
How many
got, though.
genders would you say there are?
And another thing you can say is, can you give me a better one?
How many you like?
How many would you say there are?
I don't really believe in a set number. It's
Nice.
a type of expression.
Do you think you could give me your definition of what a man or a woman is?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Could you give me your definition? Could you try?
For myself? Yeah. No.
That's all right.
I think I'm very chill. I don't really care about that.
Do you think you could give me
He looks awful. He keeps getting these people who say they don't care. And he just looks bad.
a definition for what a man or a woman is?
Oh,
I mean, it's basically
man
it,
is someone who
Lady
wants
Nova.
to be a man,
Yep.
and a woman is someone who wants to be a woman.
Based.
A man is someone who identifies as a man, and a woman is somebody who identifies as a woman.
Nice.
Okay.
That's a tricky one. Okay. Well, I think like with a lot of
Come on,
things
King, you
now
can do
in
it.
modern society, it depends on one's personal choice.
Let's go.
So, for example, I could identify myself as a man, But my definition of a man may not be the same as someone else.
Let's
For
go.
instance,
Let's go.
The way I dress, most people would say I'm not a man, and yet
True.
I'm very much a man in
Oh, this man knows his shit. This is awesome. I love him.
my identity.
And do you think you could give me a clear definition of what a man or a woman is?
No.
No, you couldn't?
Nice.
Give me your definition.
Say no. Just stick with it.
No.
Ah, yes. Queen.
I could give it altogether. It's based on their reproductive system.
Yeah, so it's biological, you would
Here we
say.
go. So again, this is the normie we talked about earlier, right? Right-leaning could be saved, but people like this get to her first, and then it's over.
It is biological, and no matter what you decide to do in the future, you are still what you were born with.
That biological sex, yeah.
I agree.
Interesting. Okay. So, would you
What
consider
about
trans
infertile
women real?
Don't ask difficult questions. Listen, if you do anything beyond a third grade level with a conservative like this, their brains will just explode. It's very messy to clean up.
Women?
I'd consider them trans women.
Okay. Very interesting.
I don't think I
turf.
could.
You don't think you could? Could you give
She okay? So let me clarify. She's a turf, but I don't think she's like an active turf. I think that that's just one of those latent beliefs that she has that like she doesn't really talk about that much. I could be wrong, but like from what I heard, it doesn't sound like she's like a proper active turf. Okay, so I don't hate her, but I do wish that like somebody, you know, if trans people come into her life, I do hope that somebody like levels her out.
Give me your definition?
What's up?
Sorry, guys. Are you okay if I play music while I cook?
It shouldn't come through. It should be fine.
Tell me if you do.
I have a
start to
noise
hear it.
gate.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, tell me if you hear music coming
Yeah.
from the kitchen.
I will keep it. I'll keep it down low. I'll
Mhm.
keep it down low. But just let me know. Thank
Mhm.
you.
Dubsy, we need another edit, please. Thank you.
I don't think I could.
You don't think you could? Could you give me your definition?
I mean, if I'm going my stereotypical.
I don't think she's a turf just because she's transphobic. That's true. I ascribe the label of turf to women automatically, and I need to stop doing that. Good point.
Right, male genitalia, female genitalia.
Amazing.
That's all I could really give you.
Yeah.
So do you think
Okay.
gender and
Again, this is just a normie. Let me see that one more time.
Right, male genitalia, female
Stereotypical.
genitalia.
Okay.
amazing?
That's all I could really give you.
Yeah. See, this is another guy. Okay. He just doesn't care that much, and that's fine. I really, honestly, in a vacuum, I probably wouldn't give a shit about trans things either, except for the fact that I date Katie for one, and she's non-binary, and for two, you know, I have trans people in my life, and also trans people are, you know, their rights are constantly at risk, you know, and even not existing right now, you know, they can't get fucking medical care like the rest of us.
Yeah.
So do you think gender and biology have
For
anything to do with
example.
each other?
No. Gender is.
Yes, they do. So they do, because based upon somebody's biology, we will ascribe them a gender. That's their assigned gender. So they do have things to do with each other, but they're only arbitrarily connected. I could also make up a system in which your gender is based on your final height. So let's say that if you're a child, let's say that until you're 18, you are child gender, okay? No girls, no boys, you're just child gender, okay? Now, once you hit that magical age of 18, or your growth spurt stops or whatever, then we'll measure your height, and based upon your height, I'm going to now ascribe to you certain expectations in society, certain clothes that I think that you would wear, things like that, right? I could do that. I could set up society like that and have a height-based gender, okay? I think that'd be really stupid, but I could. So when you ask whether gender and sex have anything to do with each other, yes, they do, but only arbitrarily and only because we said so. Yeah, only the talls can be nurses. Tall gender, yeah.
Is a made-up construct.
Okay.
I think.
And then it would be like a big thing if you're short and you want to be a nurse, then, you know, they will not accept you, or you'll get laughed at or whatever else. Kind of like how I'm a male nurse, right? It's normalized these days, but sometimes I still get the weirdo who's like, you call yourself a man and you're a nurse. That's a woman's job. Like, it happens. Not very often, but it does.
I think there's difference between like gender and like the biological sex that you were born with.
Yep.
And I think they don't have anything to do with each other.
Okay. And let's say hypothetically tomorrow I felt like a woman. Could I walk into women's bathrooms and use them?
Yes. My response to this would, and my follow would be, who's going to stop you?
If that's how you're identifying and you're comfortable with that.
Would you be comfortable with that?
That's also really not a realistic, situation to be putting us on.
Also an excellent response. Tell me how many people you see who look like this guy who regularly walk into the women's bathroom to use it, first of all. Second of all, even if somebody were to do that, my first thought is going to be, well, clearly that person is in there to sexually assault somebody, right? No. It's probably just that the men's bathroom is locked, or he's got his baby with him and needs to change him, and there's no changing station in the men's bathroom because, again, expectations of gender, right? Or it doesn't matter. Maybe the ladies' bathroom smells better. I don't care. He has as much right to use it as the women do.
Wake up and choose to go.
It's not a hypothetical situation. That kind of
Trans women do.
That's not. They don't wake up and
It's a
decide.
process.
Another great thing that you can do with a conservative like this is, are you saying that women should have more rights than men? Are you saying that women should have access to spaces that men cannot have? That sounds kind of radical feminist to me, my man. Now, if you're debating a radical feminist, they'll say yes, and unapologetically. It won't really be a point against them. But for somebody like this, some douchebag like this, that's a major hit against them. If you make people think that he just hates men, holy shit. Like that, you cannot have that if you're his archetype. You can't.
Yeah. They don't wake up and decide you're born feeling that way. It's a process. You're not just waking up tomorrow and...
You do realize one day, don't you?
I'm just really confused what this interview is actually about, though, guys, because you've come to Newtown out of all places to ask these kind of questions. So I'm really confused what you're trying to get at. If you'd like
your opinions. Trying to get your opinions.
To which you can say, my opinion is that people should be allowed to live however they want.
It's for YouTube.
For YouTube.
Play music.
Oh my God,
Copyrighted
you guys
music.
I feel like you
Do
should
it.
do. Yeah. All right. See, I think we're done here, though.
You don't want to give your opinions. But I have more questions.
Not you, sorry. I was saying to my audience that if you want to fuck these guys up who are making YouTube videos with these dumb street interviews, you just play really loud copyrighted music. Yeah.
Okay, I hope you find someone else for a time, but I think you're going...
Maybe ask that man there. He'd like someone to talk to.
Okay.
Did I do anything wrong? Was I mean? I just asked for their opinions and they got angry at me.
Yeah, they wanted to stop talking to you, dick. I should reach out to him and ask if he wants to talk to me.
Damn. How do you feel about trans women competing in professional sports with other women?
I think this is really interesting. Because,
it's really interesting?
Yeah, because in the past, there are some sports...
It's funny, though, because every time that I say I'm going to reach out to them, either I can't because they have no contact info anywhere, which is pussy shit, or they don't respond, which is pussy shit, or they decline, which is pussy shit. If you're going to go out and do this on the street, and you're not prepared for old Alec Gunter to get up into your DMs and challenge you on your beliefs, then get the fuck off the streets. You don't deserve to be there.
It's like archery, which is very skill-based, right? Not to do with, like, strength or whatever. It's all skill, pretty much. That used to be men and women together until a woman won, I think, the gold.
I think it's just that you're another content creator. I want to debate other content creators. I love debating other content creators. If you, here, I'll put out a message right now. If you are a conservative content creator of any size, doesn't matter, small, big, medium, whatever, and you consider yourself either a conservative or against transgenderism or what have you, then come on and debate me. My contact info is right there in my profile. You can email me at theallocator@gmail.com. And you can also get me in my Discord, which is linked in the description of every single video. Just click on the Discord link and send me an email. All right? Or sorry, send me a DM in Discord. And we'll set something up. And I would be more than happy to talk about whatever you want, just like I did earlier today with that freak. If you know, you know.
And then they changed it to split genders.
Oh, cool.
What is this? Rana Hamad. Hi there, collegiate level. So, a summary of why men and women have different categories. Okay, this should be interesting. Hi there. Excuse me. Collegiate level female archer here. I wonder, real quick before we read this, hold on. Female archery. Here. Archery, gender, separation, date. The sport that pioneered equality for women's participation. Archery. Archery has long been celebrated for gender equality in competition. Wow. Interesting. Particularly in the modern era, women have taken an equal role in competition and increasingly in governance as well. The sport was among the first to include a women's event at the Olympics in 1904, and World Archery was the first international federation to have a female president. It is not a modern phenomenon either. Blah, blah, blah. It was not one solely of masculinity. The myths of Artemis and Diana in classical Greek. Okay, yeah, I get all that. Let's see. Archery for women. First British sporting society to admit women were said to have added to their conquests the hearts of young gentlemen of honor and fortune. So women would do the archery, and men would be the ones who like reach out to them for their amazing skills. Well, not all the time, but in some areas. Obviously, by modern standards, this is not even equality or acceptable, but in a contemporary light, it explains the growth of the sport. Archery was an area for ostentatious display, and tournaments became common among both the elite and the aspirational urban imitators, with large prizes and crowds of spectators. I'm looking for when they divided the genders. I'm not seeing anything. Reddit. Reddit's not going to help us. I don't know. I can't find it right now. Here, you know what? I got to try to find it for the video. Hold on. Archery, gender, history. Goes back a long way. I don't know. If anybody has a source for me, I know that I read it somewhere. In any case, I think that they should be combined. And there's a history of it. All right, back to this. Collegiate level female archer here, hoping to shed some light on this good question. Men and women compete separately in individual archery competition because men's scores are typically higher. For example, the new world records are 700 and 673, male and female respectively. There's a lot of reasons for that. Listen, there's a lot of reasons for that. And one of them is that men's sports are simply better funded and better coached than women's sports. This is in large part due to the men having higher arrow speeds. Higher speeds leads to higher scores because higher arrow speed equals less wind interference plus more... No. All of this is arbitrary. Just because one person has a higher speed than another person, or even like one group of people, right? Like take this for example. Look at how many black people there are in basketball, right? There's a higher amount of black athletes in basketball than there are black people in America, right? Like the percentage is kind of wibbly wobbly. So my point is, are black people more inclined to play basketball? Or are they like just better at it naturally? All right, are we doing a little eugenics talk? Is that what we're doing? Because you could make the same argument on the same basis, and you know what they'll say? They'll call you a fucking racist because you dared to challenge them on that. I've had this conversation many times before, and they'll do it every single time.
So I think, especially in like plenty of the sports, it shouldn't matter at all.
They limit the draw weight, that would limit arrow speed. Wait, yeah, women have a lighter arrow. So it wouldn't have as much momentum. This is stupid. This is so stupid. And also, who the fuck is this? Why do I care what she has to say? Rana Hamad. Here, Rana Hamad, archery. Why does Google do this? Google's such a shit. Here we go. Oh, Quora. Oh, he fucking pulled this off of Quora? What? Are you kidding me? I thought he got an email from this chick. You've got to be shitting me. This is his source. From Quora. Rana Hamad, 0 followers, 0 following. 4 answers. How do I become rich? Could a new study sow seeds of change for barley? 2 questions. This is his professional. This is his source. Is Rana Hamad. I don't even know why I bothered fact checking. Doesn't matter. They'll always bullshit
So
you.
I think, especially in like plenty of the sports, it shouldn't matter at all.
In plenty or a select few?
I'm okay with.
Yeah, that's another great question. What is the desired outcome? If trans women aren't winning disproportionately, then what's the issue? They're going to go with a slippery slope fallacy, but then you can just say, well, there's no proof of that. There's no evidence for that. Like, we have, standards in place for men and women, and trans women follow them.
We should just have.
I got to try to get through this 'cause I got to pee again.
Gendered
Olympics, yeah, just go for it.
Yeah, there you go.
Whoever's
Yeah,
the best is the
based.
best.
I agree.
That's what I want to see.
I agree.
Who's the best? Who's the best? Athlete?
Yeah.
Do you think that would be taking opportunities away from women?
No.
No gender sport?
Only if you think that they're inferior to men.
In some ways, in terms of like the Olympics and stuff like that, no, because then the best person will just shine.
Also, just let him juice. Let him juice.
Okay.
But in terms,
Ending like in Olympic weight lifting, the males are lifting heavier weights than the females.
I don't know.
Like Olympic boxing, the males are hitting
You
harder
can still be
than
the best woman,
Boxing's
exactly.
weight class as well.
Weight classes, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I don't know.
There's like bone density and testosterone involved.
All things which are measurable. If you want to go by those measurements, then go by those measurements, dumbass. Why base it on whether or not you have a dick?
I don't know. I personally want to see the best person win.
Yeah, no problem with a male punching a female?
No,
If
not
they're
at
okay
all.
with it?
No, exactly. If they're okay with it, it's about consent. It's about agreeing to a fight. If a man wants to fight a woman and he says, "I don't hit women," that's disrespectful as fuck, dude. Oh, what? You think that women are so inferior that like I literally have a brother who thinks, and I don't know if he still thinks this. I won't say which one it is. But my brother literally thinks that he could get into the ring with like a female MMA athlete and just like win against them. He's not saying he would do it easily, but he's saying he could win against them. And I'm like, you're so stupid. Even my dad was like, son, there is no way in hell. I have seen those ladies fight and there is no shot. There's no shot. My dad was like, son, you will get your shit pushed in. I think the fuck not. And my dad is a stark raving conservative, okay? Not stark raving, but he's leveled out in the past couple of years, but he's conservative. Trust me.
Yeah. Do you think it's fair for transgender women to compete in professional sport?
It's fine.
Okay. Now that is an interesting thing because then you'd have to look at the evidence that scientists have.
See, this is what they catch people on every single time is athletics. My question is, why do you give a single solitary fuck what athletes are doing when you've never cared before? You've never cared. Never. You've never thought about women's sports or what you can do to help women's sports or looked at the size of their fucking locker rooms compared to men's or the quality of the coaching staff or the number of the coaches compared to men's or the facilities or anything. You do not care about women's sports. Do not feed me that bullshit. I'm not buying it. Not buying it. This is just about transphobia.
Provided. So I believe that yes, in a way, people should be allowed to participate in the events or sports that they want. However, we have to accept the fact that there are some genetic factors as well. Yes, we could talk about on average based on the science.
See, this is where he's losing me. King, I love you and I love your drip, but this is you're waffling a bit, my blood.
Is that on average a woman will have
Let's waffling a bit.
Will tend to have less strength than a man on average. But that doesn't mean that a single person or a single woman is weaker than any
That's a
other
fair
man.
point.
Because
That's a fair
again,
point.
that's the average. I'll accept the decision, like say in some sporting committees, that they will not allow certain transgender to compete. But I think that as time goes by, who knows? We could even have events. Why can't women compete with men?
Great question.
Because if a woman can train better than a man, a woman could easily beat a man. So then maybe, who knows, in the future we'll have sporting events that will have men competing with women, competing with transgenders.
I thought that was pretty good. I don't know why I cut it there.
I think that's complicated, but I think that it's really, more...
I want to ask this guy, name five female athletes. Name 5. Because I can tell you how many I can name. 0.
More important about than sports competitions is people feeling affirmed in who they are. So I think that we could rethink how we do sport and do graded according to skill, not just
Agreed,
gender.
agreed.
We can get creative about how we do it
Great
and
answer.
make people feel good about themselves.
Do you think men are biologically stronger and faster than women?
No.
I
think if you take so the question, if you're being charitable, is an average male with no training stronger than an average female with no training? That's the question. And yes, there are going to be some biological advantages and disadvantages, by the way, that men have. We are not altogether superior to women in all categories. Cis women in all categories. Cis men are not biologically superior to women in all categories. It's simply not the case. And the lines are blurred because of how much we've shit on women's sports all this time.
I guess on average, people assigned male at birth are, but yeah.
I don't agree with it.
You don't agree with it?
Because I've
I don't care,
seen
lady.
firsthand how
Shut
it
up.
has impacted
Shut up.
my female friends, and
Oh, have you?
I've seen how much it
Oh
has.
man, I wonder if they tied 5th place with a transgender woman. I wonder if that happened, because that would be devastating if that happened. I could never imagine. Oh wait, that did happen, and then that chick made a fucking career off of transphobia. That's cool.
Has basically given them PTSD because
Yeah,
they
Riley
just feel like they
fucking
won't
Gaines.
ever succeed in something they've worked years for because they're winning against people that unfortunately have,
I don't care. This is infantilizing. Shut the fuck up. There are women who could kick the shit out of me. And then some. They could drill me into the fucking ground and I would like it. But that's besides the point. The main point is that they could do it. Okay, so this is infantilizing bullshit. And every woman who hears this should be pissed off. Like, what the fuck? What, you think you can't take a man in a fair fight when you train? That's pussy shit. How dare you undersell yourself like that, queens? No, I believe in you. I believe in you. Equal rights, equal fights. Conservatives love that line. What happened? What happened? Equal rights, equal fights. Let UFC be mixed gender. What's wrong with that? I see no problem.
Stamina.
It's taking opportunities away from people that are born as women.
Do you agree? Yeah.
That's not one that I think I can answer fully.
I don't care.
Because it's one that...
What's your opinion on it?
Oh, it's tough.
There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, I know.
There's no wrong answer.
There isn't. No, I know. But...
I mean, there is, but...
You know what I would say? Opportunities like what? Opportunities like what? And the answer is going to be either scholarships, to which you can say, well, don't you find it odd that we base we base whether or not somebody goes to college on how far they can throw a ball or how fast they can swim? Isn't that kind of weird to you? Like, maybe they should just be able to go. So if we're talking about people just going to college, I agree with you that we should send people to college for free of charge, regardless of their athletic ability. So we agree on that, and they don't agree on that, but you can troll them a little bit, right? Wink, wink. So we agree on that, buddy. And then they'll try to fight you on that, and you can say, no. I'm saying I agree with you, right? I agree with you on that. But the other thing is, what was I saying? Fuck, I had 2 points. There was 2 answers. Sorry. The other thing that they're going to say is, you're denying them the right to win. Nobody has a right to win. It is a sports competition. It's about skill. If you do not win, you did not train hard enough or you are not gifted enough. There's an inherent biological advantage and disadvantage in every single human being on the planet. There are handicapped people who are born naturally biologically disabled, and they are not going to be able, like, there is no person in a wheelchair on earth who is ever going to be able to beat Usain Bolt in a leg race. You know why? Because they can't run. That's just the world we live in. That is our reality. So if you, as a, I don't know, like let's say that you have what's the one? Parkinson's. You know, you walk funny, right? Sorry, that's crude, but you walk different. You know, you need walkers or whatever. If you want to compete in a fair race against Usain Bolt, I think that you have every right to do so. Now, Usain Bolt has to agree. I don't think he will, but good luck reaching him. But for all intents and purposes, if you two both agree to a fair foot race, you're going to get the shit kicked out of you, first of all. But second of all, I think you should be allowed. Because it's equal rights, equal fights. Okay? If both parties agree to it, I think it's fine. Unless there's like a severe risk of somebody like, dying, which exists in sports anyway. So I might even remove that stipulation.
You know, you read the headlines and sometimes you just think, oh, is it fair?
The fruitiest man
Because
alive.
sometimes...
Do you think it's fair?
Sometimes I don't think it
I
can
don't
be.
care. It's
Sometimes
never fair.
tough, because, you know,
What's fair about Michael Phelps competing against other swimmers? What's fair about that? That man has a wingspan like a goddamn manta ray. That man is a fish man. Okay, he is a fish man. He should not be allowed to compete against other men because he's a fish man.
you know, as much as we don't want to admit it, you know, there's a lot of...
There's inherent biological advantages.
Exactly. There's physical characteristics.
Like Michael Phelps
that
has over
just,
every
in a
other
lot of
person on
ways,
Earth.
I won't say all men, but most men would be better in physical outings than most women. And that's
If they
generally
agree
the
to a
case.
fight,
Let's say tomorrow I felt like a woman. Could I walk into a female bathroom?
Yes.
If you identified as a woman, I think that you should be able to do that. Yes.
Yeah, if it's a rather perfect and serious decision, not just to
Taking
change
the
your mind
piss.
every single day, then yes.
No, I would even give them that. If you want to walk into the men's bathroom one day and the women's the next, I don't give a shit. It's public property.
How many times do you think someone can change their gender?
I think infinitely. Like
You can change your gender?
yeah, like
Yeah,
I
why not?
think creating a safe space that allows people to want to transition and then they feel comfortable enough to detransition is really important.
Yeah.
But I think if you're like again taking the piss or just like doing it to be funny, that's just insensitive. But
It's
if
all
you're
about respect.
yeah, but if you're truly like feeling that way, then I support it.
If you're taking the piss, you're gonna give up the game. Remember the shooter at Club 9 or whatever it was? I forget what it was called. It was like Club something, the gay bar. And there was a shooter who later identified as non-binary. And so they started going by they, them pronouns. Turns out that was bullshit. Of course it was. He was there to kill trans people. So he was lying, and it was a bad faith lie. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. You can have an insane non-binary person who also happens to be transphobic and hate trans people. It doesn't matter. I don't care why you identify the way you do. If you say that you're a woman, I'm going to call you a woman. If you say that you're a man, I'm going to call you a man. And if you say that you're non-binary, I'm going to call you a cute little NB bean. Unless you don't want to be cute. Then that'd be weird. But yeah. I felt like watching this because once again, this is going to be... So these... this type of content, I need you guys to understand. Club Q, thank you. This type of content appeals to like demographics of all types. Okay, old people love this. Young people love this. People of like, you know, people just like this. Normies like this a lot. This type of content is dangerous for us. I need you guys to understand that. Okay, so I guess my point in showing you guys this is just to, first of all, it's good content. And second, I don't know, if you ever find yourself out in a situation like this in the street and some dude walks up to you with a microphone and a camera and he says, hey, we're recording a YouTube video, bro. How many genders are there? How many genders are there? What I recommend you do is you pull out your phone. You say, here, give me just a second. I need to look something up. Is that okay? So you pull out your phone and you look up whatever copyrighted song you want and blast it. And just blast it. Follow them if you want. I don't give a shit. Don't stalk them. But sir, follow them for a little bit, you know? Blast it in the background while they're trying to record their video. Force them away. If you want to force them to go away, it's the best way to do it. You cannot beat that. All right? The other option, of course, is you can try to get an own on them, but even that's giving them content because usually they'll just... You're not in charge of the editing process. That's the bottom line. You're not in charge of the editing. So they will edit you out and it doesn't matter. If they look bad enough in it, unless you're Poopy Pants, whatever her name is, Bennett, unless you're her, they will usually edit you out if you make them look bad. So it's just a pointless, fruitless endeavor. Just either play copyright music or walk away. Okay. Okay, I really gotta pee. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Man, I'm really disappointed. I thought I'd be having a epic debate right now. But alas. We can't have it all. Here, hold on. What's the ETA on dinner? Excuse me. ETA on dinner. Okay. Just wondering. Thank you. All right. I think we got time for one more. Dinner was a few hours ago. Katie and I have a bad habit of having dinner a little later than we should. Sorry, I feel like I neglect chat, especially YouTube chat. I want to make the same argument for women in the military as he is for women in sports. At least that actually matters. And yeah, what are you doing over on YouTube chat still? Get on the site chat. Also, give me money. It's much easier to give me money on site chat. By the way, if you are enjoying the stream on YouTube, please hit the like button. It does help my analytics. It helps a lot. Okay, we got through that one. Oh, somebody told me Tim Pool has a really good Lady Ballers review. Pretty short. Oh no, he's got a 12-minute one.
Normal people become terrified of criminals.
Okay. We'll watch Tim Pool's review of Lady Ballers. Now, this may come as a surprise to some of you, but I have seen Lady Ballers. Not like I've talked about that on 3 different videos. But anyway, I decided to do another review of Lady Ballers because it's really good for the algorithm. So we're going to do it. We're going to look at Tim Pool's review of Lady Ballers from a month ago. He says it's the first real comedy movie in years. Now, I've seen a few comedy movies, not a lot. But I don't know what he means by real. So I'm not going to say that he's wrong. I just don't know what he means. So let's see what he means, because I'm very interested in his take.
Normal people become terrified of
when you ask for Alec Gunter at home, you get Tim Pool. So he's kind of like my discount doppelganger.
Criminals.
Shots were just fired. Police just came out and told us, and we're headed there right now.
They become terrified of their own government.
Juana Man was that movie.
It was good. That movie was
I've never seen it.
What was this thing at the beginning? I kind of just ignored it. Okay, it's just advertising for Timcast.
I'm never going to see it. I remember I'm like, when did
Evil
that movie
Alec
come out?
Gunter be
2000
like,
something.
It's better than Shawshank
2000?
Redemption. Dude.
What's it about? Juana Man? Never heard of
It's
that.
I've never seen it. It's about a guy that pretends to be a girl so he can play in he's an NBA player and
I
gets
heard of it.
canceled and then he starts playing the women.
Yeah, you know the movie they ripped off completely and obviously.
What does he do? He hits somebody or something?
I forget why he got in trouble, but he got suspended and then he still wanted to play.
Yeah, they're like, you're suspended indefinitely, and he's like, what do I do? I know. And then he puts on a wig and like fake boobs. And then it's like the gag is he's crushing the women. He's dunking and super good.
Well, it's so funny,
the premise
bro.
there was he's cheating. He's lying.
Right.
And I understand.
Yeah, because it was a different time and we had a different understanding of what it means to be trans. There aren't people putting on fucking wigs and going and competing in basketball against women. And to the extent that they are, it's not officially allowed or mandated. Or not mandated. The other word. Different word. You know what I meant.
That's a similar premise in a way.
Endorsed.
But Lady Ballers, it's the political of you can be a woman if you want.
Yeah.
And so with Juwanna Man, no one knows he's a man. With Lady Ballers, they're just a bunch of males being like, we're women now.
And then, right, and then seeing the crowd be
Oh, that's the
confused.
difference.
How
Got
do are we supposed to support this or not? Inevitably, the crowd does come out and in droves.
This is one of the guys who was in the movie, by the way, transvestite extraordinaire. I forget what his name is. I don't care enough. You know, I actually don't care enough. Fuck it.
At first, nobody's there watching the games, and
But
then
at the end, they do start to
we
support
start
them.
filling the stadiums, and we actually filled the stadiums with. You
know what I do care about? I care about his appearance. So I'm gonna look up his name anyway. Who is this guy? Here, Lady Ballers, actors, cast. Is it Jeremy Boring? That's not Jeremy Boring, is it? Guests, here we go. Alex Stein, Tyler Fisher. Is it Alex Stein? There he is. Okay, no, Tyler Fisher. There, just to give you guys, here we go.
Let's talk about Lady Ballers.
Why did you decide to do this movie?
I owe them a lot of money.
So we have an idea.
Being a girl athlete, I've already eaten a whole pint of pistachio ice cream, given up on parallel parking twice, reread Sense and Sensibility, and started washing down benzodiazepines with rosé. I love being a girl. How'd I do, ladies?
In Hollywood, it's usually SAG, so it's a union, so there's very strict rules. There were no rules, no mandates, and they're not doing the whole diversity, race, and gender, none of that crap. There's so many things that Hollywood has to reverse now. You need a certain amount of X, Y, and Z to get an Oscar
Okay,
now.
I really don't care. We'll get it on Tim Pool. But you guys got the idea. He got very into his role, I must say. Tyler Fisher, cross-dressing extraordinaire, everybody.
With extras. Some of them didn't know what the movie was about, and we had a protest.
No, like the extras protesting?
Oh yeah, we had someone stand up and protest
Gotta say, his name is as bland as he is, by the way.
during the film shoot.
They're like, oh, I'm against this. you know?
Yeah. But this was Nashville, right? And these were like Daily Wire fans coming out, so they just they were like, fuck you.
Wow.
Shut up. Yeah.
Oh, was it like a gender fluid lesbian or something that yelled, or was it just
I
like?
think so. Yeah. And then every day they'd be
Extras are protesting.
I'm gonna come. Yeah. But it was so funny because one person was like, "This is not okay," and everyone's like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yo,
and they
that's
just dragged them
amazing.
out, and then every day we had protests outside.
No.
Yeah.
They literally had internal conflict because they were not honest with people that they hired about what they were doing. And then when those people realized, they fucking quit, just so you all know.
Every day
It's really
shooting?
pathetic.
How did we not know
After
this
that?
movie was coming out?
Yeah, I don't know. And then we sent out Billy Ray played a newscaster. We sent her out in character to interview the protesters.
Did that make in the movie?
No, it should have. It should have.
Oh man.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I'm trying to hold back
It
so much after
should've.
hearing that your extras protested you.
I'll be honest with you guys. I don't see the point in protesting this shit anymore. They're just looking for attention. They're looking for video grabs. Like, I don't know, just ignore them. Just pretend they don't exist until they force their way into your lives, and then point out that they're fucking forcing their way into your lives. You know, like with the laws. And obviously, you can't ignore the laws, right? So go out and protest those. But protesting a movie, like, how much money did it make? Here, let's take a look. I never even looked at that. Lady Ballers revenue from Reddit. In Lady Ballers, Daily Wire doesn't know how weight class works. That's not what I need. Lady Ballers camp. Daily Wire announces $250,000 ad buy for Lady Ballers. 0.2 million? That's 200,000. Or do you mean 2 cents? 20 cents. Meta has made over $1.6 million from ads for the Daily Wire movie. That's insane. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
During your movie.
And if you've ever been an extra on a movie set,
Point is, I just don't see the point in protesting this shit. If it's a law, protest it, obviously. But if it's something as inconsequential as a movie that literally nobody saw or cares about, forget it. Just forget it.
extras, I think they're just as important as the main actors, you know. So that kind of makes sense.
Tough gig, man.
Well, but I'm
like,
just saying, I could see somebody standing up like, I'm going to be a future actor. Like, I'm standing up for, you know, trans rights. Like,
and nobody cares.
Nobody
We're doing
cares.
a comedy.
They're definitely in the red. The fact that they have not been bragging about how much money the movie made should tell you everything you need to know.
Movie, dude, calm down. It was funny because I was just watching It's Always Sunny yesterday, the old season episode where
yes, the
Dee is
conservative
an
show,
extra,
Always Sunny,
and she's playing a corpse in a Serbian genocide movie. But she keeps trying to like pose for the
I remember
camera.
that one.
Agent.
I love that.
You know, I was actually.
Yeah.
It's funny we say this. I was an extra in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in the episode. You can see me.
Well, why are we
where
bringing
it's
it up?
Frank's brother, but. That is true, though.
Wait, you're
I was actually in an episode of It's Always Sunny, and I was in an episode of The Office. Yeah,
What?
both of them. When I first
Hold on.
first moved to LA,
Let me explain.
I was an extra. I didn't have a job. I
An
moved to Los
extra?
Angeles.
Featured
Oh,
extra?
okay.
Well, yeah, in both of them. I was
Once again, failed actor. There you go.
a featured extra. I'm like doing fake cocaine.
Don't say you were in Always Sunny. Like, okay, yes, I get it. It's cool to say. It's a cool party trick, whatever. I get it. But that's very misleading, man. You were in one episode of Always Sunny as an extra. Shut the fuck up. Get out of here, you loser.
And I'm dancing at this gay bar. I'm
in It's Always
Did I
Sunny.
tell you guys I
And
was in
I
Always
don't know
Sunny?
what episode
Oh!
that was Frank's Brothers episode. And then
Frank's
and
brother?
then type in this. You'll
Probably
see me.
didn't
I'm
even
in the
fucking
thumbnail.
talk
You
to the
can
main
Go to
cast.
the office and type in Michael Scott's last scene, and you'll see me standing next to Michael Scott. But my point is, I didn't have a job, so I moved to LA, and my buddy's like, "You should go to Central Casting." Then I worked as an extra for like 4 or 5 months, and then I got a job as a production assistant on some Food Network shows, and you know, it just kind of.
Some food now, food now. Okay, buddy, yeah. Okay.
Was
Say you're a failed actor next time.
I
It's
gotta
easier.
go watch that later, and we're gonna like sit there and wait and be
Frank's
like, there he is.
Brothers. I'll show
Did
you.
you
I'll pull it
sneak
up.
on? I feel like you
No,
snuck
I was
on.
on. No, I was casting. Well, this is the thing. People
Damn,
don't realize too.
okay.
Is if you look young, they don't want to have kids on set. So it's called 18.
Today
if
I
you
feel
look
yeah,
younger
yeah.
than 18. And so I got all these high school roles. So like I didn't even know anybody, and all of a sudden, but you made like $100 a day, literally. And after taxes, it was like
Oh, that was an alert for anybody who heard that. I'm supposed to have those turned off right now, though.
80 something. So it
I
wasn't
don't know
very
what it was
lucrative,
for
but it was
either.
cool to go on the set, and that's where I met people. And then I ended up getting jobs later on from.
Right on.
Just
And then
saying.
something happened.
Jobs like what? They must have been very lucrative, buddy. If the highlight of your acting career is playing an extra for one episode on Always Sunny, I got news for you. Probably time to find some other work.
your brain, and you turned into this.
And then I got in a bad car accident. I got amnesia, and now I don't
really?
even know who I am.
Drank the
anymore.
coffee, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it was. That
Yeah.
Casper
never mind.
coffee.
Well, we're gonna be filming a Casper commercial with Alex, and if Tyler wants to.
Sure.
join us.
Extra
Yeah.
caffeinated. We're gonna
just-
go insane.
We're just goofing off. Well, let's go back to the let's talk about the movie and stuff though. I mean, hearing that Jeremy saying nobody wants to be in it. Did you have any concerns?
No, I don't care.
Were you canceled already
I
or
don't
something? or-
care.
Yeah, I call it like
You cannot act the way that he acted in that movie and act disaffected in a Tim Pool cast. You can't do that. A Tim cast. The Tim, whatever it is.
canceled. I
Pre-canceled.
was kind of
Tiffany, whatever.
there was an effort to prevent my career from taking off. You know, or I'll give you a couple examples. One, I was fired from an acting agent for being white.
What?
They told me in an email. Right, it's a big agency. This stuff's been happening for so long. I would constantly lose
I'm sure.
commercial campaigns, jobs. I would get cast, and then they'd go, you know what? The CEO wants a dyslexic, black, trans, ambidextrous
Oh,
woman.
I'm sure that happened, man. I get emails like that all the time, honestly. It's amazing that I even have a job. And it's also amazing that I'm the best the best paid fucking person at my job. That's not a brag. That's literally a result of me being a white man as a nurse.
I was thinking, like, this is not okay.
Yeah.
But you couldn't talk about it. I would try to tell someone, they go, well, your time is up. And then, so I quit acting for 3
And
years.
Wow.
Because
Let me clarify. I am an RN, which puts me above most of them. I am young, which puts me above most of them. But I feel like also being at least a man, I don't know about white these days, but at least being a man would certainly put me at a pay grade above them.
I was brought into these big agencies. They would see me, go, "You're going to be on SNL. You're going to be a star," and then they go, "It's not time for white guys. I'm sorry, it's not your time."
That happened to me at Vice, actually.
Really?
White boy summer's over.
When I started there, basically my negotiation was, look, I do live coverage, but I don't do documentary stuff. I need someone to help me with the other side of things. So if I go out and live stream this big news event, can you send a camera guy to film me doing it?
Yeah,
We can
true.
Make a doc- we
no,
can make-
thank you, Transitory, in the chat. No, I'm sure. Transitory openly stated. Apparently, I was wrong because Transitory is a trans woman. Gets all kinds of requests from jobs all the time. She just can't keep up with all of them, really. And honestly, she has her pick, cream of the crop, really. And she makes millions. She's a millionaire, and she should donate to me more. Is actually what's going on there.
Make a mini doc that captures, and then we have the live coverage at the same time. It's like 2 birds with 1 stone. They said yes, and then eventually, I do think it's fair to say I had no experience doing doc stuff, and so I'm not going to pretend like I was the greatest person for the job. But that was basically, look, I'll give you groundbreaking news coverage. You get me these docs, and then I was explicitly told by a guy, look, they want diverse cast and.
Yeah, they're racist.
And I'm like, my friend, I am mixed race. And they said, doesn't matter. You don't look enough.
Yeah.
And then this is crazy.
When in acting, that's literally true. Listen, I don't really agree that, there should be no racial component when it comes to almost anything. Except acting, I feel like that's important, right? Like, if there's roles that you need certain demographics for, then you need those demographics. If you're not that, you can't play I'm sorry, Tim Pool, you cannot play a slave in the Civil War movie. It's not happening.
When I worked at Fusion, they said the same thing. They did this political forum. It was called the Black and Brown Forum. And they brought in their top talent and then got an outside talent, even though I was one of their top guys. And I asked them, I was like, is there a reason you guys went for outside talent? They got a black guy, a famous comedian. And they said, well, it's the Black and Brown Forum, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm mixed race. I'm like, I'm part Asian. Like, do I not get a say? And they're like, you look too white. Have a nice day.
It really doesn't matter. It all matters on what you look like.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
It's funny you guys say this, and I don't even know if you've known this, Tim, but I actually worked for the TV.
Also, by the way, I agree that there's like a lot of liberal overhead with like, representation or whatever. I agree that sometimes it's a little silly. And they'll like pull you, like they do have like weirdo office meetings for like diversity and inclusion and shit that don't ultimately mean anything. I agree with all of that. But, when it comes to acting, you do kind of need diversity in your roles. I agree that we need that. Like sometimes you got to force a little bit of diversity when it comes to like media, pop culture. Okay. You have to, you know why? Because those demographics exist in your population. I'll also add this. There is not nearly enough Hawaiian representation in Hollywood. And I talked about this before. They get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Vin Diesel. Anytime they need a Hawaiian guy, it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson or sometimes Vin Diesel if they're feeling a little spicy. They never, ever, ever get an actual Hawaiian person besides Dwayne Johnson, who I don't even think is Hawaiian, Dwayne Johnson. And I don't think Vin Diesel is, maybe I'm wrong about Vin Diesel, but I'm pretty sure that he plays Hawaiians. But anyway, anytime that they need anybody who looks like they're from a tropical island, who do they go to? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And it's weird,
TV show Cheaters for 8 years. We catch people cheating on their husbands and wives. I signed an NDA, so I can only say so much about it, but it's a reality show, so you know how that goes, how real those are. But my point is, I was, the host was a guy by the name of Clark Gable. His grandfather was Clark Gable from Gone with the Wind, the famous actor.
So wait, you participated in a show where you catch people cheating on their husbands and wives? How does that work? Like, if you suspect that it would work like catfishing, right? Like the Catfisher show. If you suspect that your husband's cheating on you, do you like chase him down, or do you like try to seduce him? Is it like entrapment, where like we're gonna get our sexiest broad here, and we're going to sit her down in front of him for a business meeting, and just have her seduce him, and then right before they're about to take their clothes, they're like, "Caught! You're on Cheaters. Haha, you're on Cheaters."
He died of a fentanyl overdose. Literally, he had a prescription for pain pills, ran out of them. So
to catch a cheater, the one guy walks in. What's his face? To catch a predator, and he's like, "Why don't you have a seat? Why don't you have a seat?"
Went and bought pills on the street, had fentanyl on it. Took 2 pills, died in bed with his wife or his fiance.
What happened? Hold up.
He had actor. by the name of Clark Gable. His grandfather was Clark Gable from Gone with the Wind, the famous actor. He died of a fentanyl overdose. Literally, he had a prescription for pain pills, ran out of them, so he went and bought pills on the street, had fentanyl in it. Took 2 pills, died in bed with his wife, or his fiance at the time, and his 19-month-old baby.
Man, that's interesting. I wonder if there's any policy prescriptions that would help with that.
And the guy that owns it is a guy named Bobby Goldstein. He loved me. He's like, Alex, you're going to be the next host of the show. I got in really good shape. But right when we were about to start the new season, the show's distributed by Viacom, which owns CMT, VH1, and MTV. They said, you're not going to be the host anymore. You can still be one of the producers. We're going to go with this guy named Peter Guns, who's a black dude. And the reason why I know it was an affirmative action hire, they made him change his name to Peter Pankey because they didn't want to glamorize gun violence.
Whoa.
Yes, that was.
I need to listen to that one more time.
Guy named Peter Guns, who's a black dude, and the reason why I know it was an affirmative action hire, they made him change his name to Peter Pankey because they didn't want to glamorize gun violence.
How does that follow? That's how they know that it was a. Wait, that's how they know that it was a diversity hire? No. So the whole idea behind diversity hires, quote unquote, to the extent that they exist, and they certainly do, but not, it's not that big of a problem. But, the idea, right, is that you have an incompetent person of a race that is not white or a gender that is not male, etc., doing the same job that somebody of a male gender or white race could do, right? Or who looks white, I should say. And the only reason that you hired them is that they're black or Hispanic or Asian or gay or what have you, or handicapped, and they do a worse job than you as a white person, right? That's the idea. Of course, we've come to realize that that's bullshit. Usually what happens is you have, like, at worst, you'll have a white person and a black person who are exactly the same, who have exactly the same qualifications, right? If you're going to have a bias, affirmative action would dictate that bias goes towards the black person because there's not as much representation of black people in certain careers because of systemic racism. That needs to exist in a country that has a history of systemic racism. You have to do that. You have to cheat in the other direction. Okay? If you have 4 people playing Monopoly, right? And 3 of them are allowed to play as normal, and then one of them is told, hey, you can't move around the board until we move around 3 times. We get 3 laps around the board, and then you can start, right? And then later in the game, you're allowed to start, finally. Let's just say that you're like the person who's left out. You're allowed to start. You go around the board. Most of the properties are already eaten up. You might get like one of the small brown ones, right? The shit properties. But most of them are already gobbled up. You're not getting any properties. You're not winning this game. You are toast. The best you have is like maybe some money. Oh yeah, no, I take it back. Actually, you're going to start with $0. You're going to start with, you need money in Monopoly. Let's say you start with $100 in Monopoly. $100. The only properties you even have a chance in hell of purchasing is a brown property in Monopoly. And you have to wait 3 turns before you can go around the board. Now you're allowed to go around the board. And let's say you even buy one of those brown properties. You get a 3, I believe. You get a 3 and you buy a brown property that nobody else has gotten yet. And then you lose. You lose the game. And then you say, you know what? That wasn't fair, I don't think. I didn't have the same advantages that you guys had. Okay? The appropriate response to that is, you know what, man? You're right. Maybe next time we'll play fair. But if you're a conservative, you'll say, oh, what are you talking about, man? Look, we let you go around the board. You even bought a property. Look, that was lucky. Listen, look, you got a property. We let you have that. That was yours. You had what you needed to win. You could have won. I think that's fair. That's what conservatives think. That's how their brain works. When in reality, if it's been 3 turns and then somebody, let's say mom walks in and mom says, hey, this isn't fair. You guys need to let him go around the board 3 more times. And you know what? I'll even go a step further. Let's take a property from each of you and give it to this person. Take a property from each of you and give it to them, and also give them $100 each. That's not very much. Just $100 each and give it to this person because you were very unfair to them. I think that's fine. It's cheating. It's literally cheating the other direction, but you have to do that. You know? Too much avocado toast to win Monopoly. True. We're all socialists now. In the socialist version of Monopoly, it's very boring because everybody wins.
Whoa.
Yes, that was his name, Peter Guns. And so what happened was I was so dejected. I was so sad. I was like, man, I'm about to make $140,000, which to me at the time to do this, work 6 months out of the year was like awesome. I was so excited. Because I was actually making close to that as a producer, but I had to work a lot harder than just be the host. But my point is, Jansen Ray, a guy that worked, he's like, Alex, you should do your own podcast. You should do your own podcast. And that's what forced me to do it. And then I did a podcast for a year. Then I started going to city council meetings and I started confronting politicians. So for me, getting canceled because
this guy's going to city council meetings, just so you know, you can also do what he does. You can go to city council meetings and bring up your grievances. If you want to tell them about a sidewalk that's bad, or you want to tell them about not being able to afford your medication, you can just go there and tell them that. You can tell them, hey, I have ass cancer and I can't afford chemo. I'm just letting you guys know that I'm going to die of ass cancer in 3 years because I can't afford chemo. And this is happening under your jurisdiction. Thanks, bye. Like, you can do that. That is allowed.
Because of affirmative action was a blessing in disguise.
So basically, you had this moment where you snapped and you're punching holes in walls and this is what made Alex. I mean, this is like a supervillain origin story, I suppose. Affirmative action.
That's what it was. It was an affirmative action movie.
Yes. So, but like you
the
said,
same thing happened to me.
That's what I'm saying.
I was so
things,
it was so much anger. Like I was just
What
cornered.
was an affirmative action movie?
What am I gonna do? So it just all started pouring out. I started making videos and all that stuff. But I have a lawsuit with the Supreme Court for another acting manager who called me and said they wanted to represent me. And then he called me back and he said, we really want to work with you. We're no longer working with white men.
No way.
And I recorded it. I was sitting at my podcast.
Yeah, these poor guys.
And I didn't think that was going to happen.
Sitting here in the air-conditioned, probably not enough, though. It probably still stinks. But nonetheless, the air-conditioned Timcast office. And afterwards, they'll probably go skating or whatever else. They probably have a fucking private jet they fly out of the basement or something. These poor men.
I was like, he's like, we're going to get you on Curb Your Enthusiasm. We're going to get you on SNL, the same old shtick. And then he goes,
Yeah, because a manager's supposed to tell you that shit. That's how you got tricked. All you're saying is that you got tricked. Okay, managers do that shit to get you in their clutches and take a little bit of your money. Okay? All you're admitting to is that you got duped. That's all that's happening here.
Yeah, it's just we're not working with white guys. And I go, I hit record and I go, can you say? I go,
and I doubt that's how that went down, by the way.
A little slower for the people in the back. He goes, we're not working with white guys.
Then play it. Then play it. What, you have a recording? Play it. I want to hear it.
And I said, is that company policy? And he goes, yeah.
What about gay white guys?
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe.
That's what maybe if you wanted it that bad, maybe you should have been gay, huh?
I wonder if that cat I wonder if you were gay.
You should have just said, are you Slavic or Eastern European?
Am I? Yeah, a little bit.
Because the Coalition for Communities of Color says that Eastern Europeans are people of color.
Really?
Yeah, for real. They do.
I was like,
wait, what happened?
Are people of color.
Am I? Yeah, a little bit.
Because the Coalition for Communities of Color says that Eastern Europeans are people of color.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, but like it's just a matter of so it's color in society is a very social construct. Like it doesn't have a finite set of rules. You know what I mean? Like again, Hassan Piker is white passing. Okay, but if you look at his name, you can tell he's from Turkey and he's probably is Muslim. Okay, which he's an atheist, but he's like he's from an area full of Muslims and whatever. So he's from a Muslim family, but you can only tell that by his name. He's very white passing. If you saw him in public, you'd think he's a white guy. So like he wouldn't be like, they would probably tell him the same thing as, hey, listen, you look too white for this role. Hassan Piker. Oh, sorry. Right. Talk it to me. Hello, Tina.
Really?
Yeah. For real. They do.
I was like,
but obviously,
I know I'm not white. I swear to God, I've been pretending to be white. It's a big mistake. I was told white people have it all. So I've had a lawsuit pending with them for like 2 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
And then I kind of got canceled for even pursuing that lawsuit. I put it on Twitter and then I got obliterated. you're racist, white guy, screw. So I'm like, you can't win. You have to do your own thing.
Do you have representation now? Did you find somebody?
Oh yeah, I got a lawyer 2 years ago. We're I think waiting for the deposition at this point.
This is what happens with like moderate liberal individuals, or I should say like classically liberal, not necessarily like libertarian in terms of economics or anything, but you get these regular folks. I think people kind of where we are politically, where we're like, hey man, you know, it doesn't matter what your race is.
Oh yeah, no, they're just like regular people. Yeah, true.
You know, we're all here to live and
regular
work together. We want to
people
be friends.
like Tim Pool, who has a skating park in his basement. Don't forget that. A really bad one from what I've heard.
And then what happens is someone proposes a law and says you shouldn't be able to
Tim Pool is disabled. If that's true, I don't care.
Discriminate on the basis of race, religion, national origin, and good rational people are like, yeah, you shouldn't be able to do that. I mean, like, that's messed up that someone would fire someone.
If somebody says they're classical liberal, that means they're a fascist and they don't have the balls to say it. They're pussies.
For their race. The problem is the people who aligned with that view were secretly saying we just
in a compound abhorrent.
And so what happens is you get this coalition of left liberal.
Wait, what happened? Who just says they hate white people?
The problem is the people who aligned with that view were secretly saying we just hate white people.
Wait, who's secretly saying that? Who? This sounds like JQing. Yes?
And so what happens is you get this coalition of left liberal.
Not that that's
saying,
surprising.
hey, no more racism or whatever, however you want to describe it. And then as soon as that law is in place, the left says, okay, now no white people either.
No. The two most prominent political streamers, Hassan Piker and Vosh, are both either white or white passing. Leftist streamers, I should say, political leftist streamers. They're either white or white passing. Like, there's no planet on which white people, like leftists, like true socialist, leftist, progressive, whatever, say you can't be here because you're white. There are weirdos that do that, but they're not part of the broader leftist movement. And people who are part of the broader leftist movement, the socialist, progressive movement, what have you, would exclude those people because they're dumbasses and they're hurting the cause. I've never seen that.
And so now those who are in the middle, like us, who are just, hey, racism is bad. I don't care who you're attacking based on the color of their skin or whatever. It's not a good thing.
Oh, yeah, sure. No.
Now you have the left being like, nah, we were always okay with it.
Listen, I know that there's a history of subjugation of a certain race. I wouldn't say which because I don't see color. But I know there was like a history of subjugation in this country for that. But like, listen, you don't be racist against white people either. I mean, you know, we've had our fair share of trifles and tribulations in our time. Did you know that yesterday I spilt the mayonnaise from my sandwich, and it was the only topping that I had on the sandwich because I am white and I don't like spices, and that's my culture. And if you say that tastes bad, then you're racist against white people. Anyway, my point is I have problems too as a white man.
We just manipulated you to gain power.
So yeah, spare me the whole slavery thing. Anyway, yeah, that was great. This will be good for the algorithm. I don't have much to say, but they didn't even really talk about the movie that much, to be honest with you. I thought they'd like actually review it, but instead they just shot the shit, you know, like Tim Pool does with the boys, right? With the boys. He's such a lame-o. I don't know why people watch him, man. Okay. Man, I'm hungry. Might end soon. Us melanin deficient need to learn our place. That's true. That's pretty true. Did the debate happen? Feisty Geisty, it turns out the debate is scheduled for Saturday. This coming Saturday. I got it wrong. It will be actually at 5 p.m., not 6 p.m. I don't know why I got Tuesday at 6 when it's actually going to be Saturday at 5. So I apologize. Calling it slop would elevate it. I agree. McDonald's is slop. It's slop that I like. Okay, it tastes good. I love McDonald's. I eat it. I actually haven't eaten in a while. I'm proud of myself, but I used to eat it a lot. But it's slop. Tim Pool is not slop. It is abhorrent. It's like the Long John Silvers of YouTube content. Consider checking the article I linked that talks about an experiment literally like what you described with Monopoly. Which one? Oh, why rich people deserve their money. I'm not in the mood for reading things. I'll look at it though in my off time. I appreciate it. Stream over? It might be. I'm trying to decide that. I don't really have time for another segment. What did we do? We did the 2 video reacts, 1 segment about Pokemon Infinite Fusion, and then one debate. I think that's good. I think that's good. Also, Tina, if you're still there, I will DM you. Well, I'll DM you. Never mind. I'll DM you. No, it's not that important. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. Let's see who's live. Sark is live. We'll do that. We got a debate on the weekend? We do have a debate over the weekend. I'll be happy once Saturday comes and I have a debate to do. I love debates. The one that we did today, though, was not a debate. That was just like a bully session for a freak. I cannot believe that dumbass emailed me after. He's like, no, please, please. I promise I'm not weird. I promise. I promise I'm not weird. Please. You have to believe me. Okay.
Pictures and videos.
Shit. I don't know which one. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching me do my silly little dance on the internet. I will be back on Saturday, and we got a debate about transgenderism, according to this person. So long. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you all this weekend. Take care.